So the Spurs control. They'll have to begin the fourth quarter. Coming into the game with the second best record in the NBA and the West at 20-5. 13-2 right here at home. 7-3 on the road so far. Good recognition of the double. Tony Parker burns him, but that was good by Tim Duncan to right away let them know if you're going to. It's out of popped it away from Howard. Tim on the run with Tony Parker. How about it? Take it the distance, big guy. 4-0, make it 5-0 due to the Parker three.
That's what you love to see. You love to see them coming out with that kind of fire and enthusiasm.
And Tim Duncan going by Juwan Howard, who went for the steal. Nice lob down low.
Yeah, great lob and poor defense by Howard that time. Can't gamble.
Tim Duncan needs some touches down to the low block. David going up top. Howard got away with one. And it's going to be a foul finally. A break for the Spurs. I'll tell you something, I really like the Spurs' chances right now. Down by only 6 the way that Dallas has been shooting. The Spurs have missed 9 straight. Danny Manning just got his 3rd foul. Steve Smith back-to-back. And Tim Duncan will give him a shot again with 8 separating the shot clock and the game clock. Duncan over Howard, using the window effectively. He wasn't going to go up off the window, but once he got in the air, he realized that was his best chance. Now Nowitzki against Antonio Daniels. The block is there. Charles Smith, Spider-Man got back. Spurs have the advantage. The lob. Malik Rose from Tim Duncan.
Fantastic play. First off by Charles Smith, who loves to trail the break and come up with key blocks, leading to Tim Duncan just giving a gorgeous lob to Malik Rose. How often do you see your power forward throwing lob passes to other players?
Tim Duncan drawing the contact.
Going to Bradley, knowing him and what I've seen of him, I would expect him to work and get out of that.
Again, Eschmeyer on the nice penetration, the block by Tim Duncan.
Those are pretty big numbers.
Tim Duncan finally with a touch, forcing his way home. Nowitzki can't keep up with him on the block. Spurs need to exploit it and can tie it up now.
Well, this is a double team or a triple team waiting to happen.
The starters account for more scoring percentage-wise as it goes in for Tim Duncan, setting up Bruce Bowen. And before Juwan Howard can get over, it's all even at 61. Trying to add to their 7-point lead, nowhere near. You can see Finley was going to come up short. David Robinson with the board. David's got 7 and 5. Parker the distance. Will they get the roll? No, but Tim Duncan's there to clean up. And their bench has not been that productive until recently, especially Nahara, Eschmeyer, and of course Danny Manning. Terry Porter feeding Finley, setting up Tim Duncan. They'll go to the line to shoot 2. Nowitzki with the foul. Bears with already as many threes as they had the other night against the Bucks in 12 fewer tries. 2-point ball game. Tim Duncan, nifty move around Dirk Nowitzki. Tim Duncan wanted it.
You used to laugh when you saw Dallas on your schedule. Now you cry.
Tim working against Nowitzki. Drop stepping partner. Off the window. Tough angle. Nowitzki, all of a sudden his body language tells you he's frustrated trying to cover. Tim Duncan, as Nowitzki fell off it, was trying to pick up a charge. Didn't get the call. Tim will take it. And now Tim Duncan with 25 to lead all scored. And clear out. Can Tim tie it up? Yes. Close range, Tim Duncan. Tough to go over the top. Instead, Malik Rose. Wong Zhu got it, but Tim Duncan comes up with it. Staying at home, Tim Duncan just followed the play in.
And that time, Tim was doubled by both Nowitzki and Finley, but when the ball went up, both those players were standing on the outside of Tim Duncan. Didn't box him out.
As Tim gets the block, and Nowitzki's got a loose ball foul.
No stitches required. He got stitched up with, or patched up with a butterfly bandage, so he's available to return.
Tim Duncan with a good look. Got Nowitzki into the air. Gets the opportunity for the 3-point play. Nice over-the-top pass by Charles Smith.
Wow, that was a perilous pass that time. I thought that thing was going to get picked off. Dirk has to be careful here.
He's got 4 already. Tim Duncan does it again. Almost behind the glass is set for Duncan. The clear out for TD. Against Nowitzki. Got the contact. Gets it again. 5 on Nowitzki. Duncan to the line already with 36.
You need to help that man out. He's in no man's land right now. He's isolated. He's not a premier defender in this league. That time, Tim Duncan goes from the left side of the floor all the way to the right side and banks it off the glass, and nobody in blue steps up to stop him.
Huge possession for the Spurs. Duncan over Manning as he's hit on the wrist. taking it upon himself to keep the Spurs in the game single-handedly. He goes to the line looking for 40. Now Juwan Howard back into the game. They want to find Tim Duncan to work on Howard. Clear out. Only 6 on the shot clock though. Working past Howard. Duncan does it again. They let him go to his strong side. 1-point game. Tim Duncan asking for it against Juwan Howard. Blowing by Howard with the right hand. Got the roll. How tough was that shot? Spurs don't need a 3. They need to get it inside. Bowen running, has the layup. Tim Duncan with a little give and go, and it didn't take long that possession to make it a 3-point game. And here come the Spurs. Steve Smith setting up Tim Duncan right away. They have to be in a hurry. Howard with the foul. Tim doesn't get the roll. They needed it big time. Does it again. Matches his career best at 46 points. So the Spurs, they go for the stop. And then they'll need 3, trailing by 116-113.
Well, this is the right thing to do. You have to hope your guys can hold them down.
Nash got away. Terry Porter poked it away. And Malik Rose almost double dribbled. Terry Porter, Spurs need 3. Who's going to go? 8 left. Porter for the tie. Yes! It's all even! Now can they get it in? Yes, Nash. Final 5. Off the pick by Nowitzki. Nash defended by Rose. We get overtime. Spurs without a point in the first 2 minutes of overtime. Nowitzki got away. Duncan with a block. Tim Duncan looking for the seal down low on Juwan Howard. Good position to post up. Gets inside on the fall away. Tim Duncan's got a new career high. 48 points for TD. Spurs back within 2. You know where they want to go. Howard's all over him. The clear out for Tim Duncan. Right by Juwan Howard. The finger roll. It's all even. 50 on the button for Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan matching Sharif Abdul-Rahim for the high in the NBA this year with 50 points.
Oh, he's going to break it this time down the floor.
Nowitzki trying to front him out of the play. Doesn't make any difference. Tim Duncan again inside. Count it! He'll go to the line looking for the 3-point play.
This is a one-man wrecking crew. 52 going to the line for 53. And if they don't double team him or something, he's going to have 55 next time down the floor.
Plenty of time on the shot clock. Off the window. Flat that time, and Howard's got the rebound.
Yeah, a little flat shot that time. Trying to look for the glass.
Hardaway for the tie. Unbelievable. You knew what he wanted to do. You could see it coming. Gotta believe it's going to be Michael Finley's turn.
Bruce Bowen has a monumental task, but he's somebody who's up to it.
It'll be Nash instead, and he gets it done. Here we go.
Place for Terry Porter here.
It is Porter at the buzzer. That'll do it.
Ray Allen blessé depuis 5 matchs.
À suivre aussi Tim Duncan, qui reste sur une performance exceptionnelle.
Score individuel de la saison dans une défaite après prolongation contre Dallas, 126-123. Anthony Mason et Tim Duncan va être de toute beauté.
Oui, pas tendu par Sam Cassell. Quand le jeu est un peu coincé, évidemment, on donne le ballon à Tim Duncan.
Face au panier, dos au panier, au rebond, en défense. Je ne veux plus parler de Tony Parker. J'en ai marre de parler de Fan Marbury ou Dan Allen Iverson.
Oh, le rebond fort
des remplaçants pour les Bucks de Milwaukee.
5 sur 9 à 3 points quand même depuis le début du match.
Saison, les défenses ont tendance à le laisser. Alors que nous voyons les belles actions de Tim Duncan en première mi-temps, quelques précisions sur la performance de Michael Jordan. Il a battu le record de Washington avec 24 points en premier quart-temps, 34 points en première mi-temps Milwaukee.
Tim Duncan, toujours dans ce duel face à Anthony Mason sur Tim Duncan.
Donc pas de prise à 2, il fait plusieurs dribbles. Et vous avez vu comment il a failli partir à l'intersaison d'ailleurs. Il n'était pas très content de la somme proposée dans un nouveau contrat par les Spurs.
Et bonne passe de Tim Duncan.
Quand même gagné 10 de suite.
Il y a une défense beaucoup plus agressive de Milwaukee.
Ça, c'est toujours l'équipe de Greg Popovich, ancien militaire.
Et on revoit ce qu'il a tenté Tim Thomas, si c'était un aller-oop ou un tir à 3 points. Toujours est-il que le ballon est perdu. Il explose sa moyenne. Tim Duncan.
Au palmarès, même si Kobe Bryant est terrain depuis 5 matchs avec une tendinite.
Antonio Daniels va s'appuyer sur Tim Duncan.
Oh,
Ouais, il est
toujours en bonne position. Et ici, il va contrer sans problème avec ses deux bras tendus.
Ouais, et derrière la conclusion d'Antonio Daniels, il résiste bien à Tim
Qui est blessé à la cuisse avec...
Parce qu'entre Ray Allen, qui lui est en costume et ne jouera pas une seconde, évidemment, pour les hommes de Greg Popovich.
Duncan qui est dans la...
Il a encore largement le temps.
C'est ce qu'ils vont faire avec Duncan près du cercle. Oh là là!
L'arbitre était juste à côté et c'est une vraie balle de match.
C'est une compensation pour cette faute-là. C'est évident parce que là, on a vu le bras de Duncan.
Il a quand même fait un beau match au niveau des rebonds et de sa défense sur Tim Duncan.
Allez, heureux dans le sujet. Et il met Mr. Fundamentals, comme dirait Shaquille O'Neal.
2 possessions. Duncan.
Il est costaud, Mason. Hein? Oh là là. Oui, pour profiter d'une passe après.
E se...
Duncan! Oh là 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 là!
Cosa che sia particolarmente abituato a fare. Qui va Washington Wizards alla fine, nonostante la partenza con un solo canestro
pulito, che raramente lo vedete creare dei mobilità laterale di Collins su quei due piedi.
Punti fantastici, più 7 Utah, e adesso sono 5 minuti giocati nel primo quarto. Duncan con la stessa giocata e in generale secondo me l'impressione è che abbiano avuto qualcosa di più rispetto al passato.
Può, quando è lontano dalla palla, per andare ad aiutare su Duncan. Qua adesso c'è un cambio accettato, la palla a questo punto però sia abbastanza chiaro, cioè Daniels non sta tirando bene da fuori, vuole giocare magari giochi a 2 ma non prende un buon tiro dai 6 metri se non è molto sicuro a questo
punto. La doppia in occasione della gara contro i Washington Wizards, dove ha chiuso per punti, stoppate, per assist e per percentuale da registrare parecchie cose. Invece dall'altra parte, altra partenza UCLA, altro taglio subito, poi
tiro di Daniels potrebbe essere molto importante su questa partita.
Va per la palla Jackson, gli va bene, poi riceve l'apertura di Tim Duncan.
Se non trova niente si mette in proprio. Come avete notato, destro
in stagione regolare nella sua carriera 200 in questo momento, è una squadra veramente inarrestabile. 5 di vantaggio per i Jazz, bella palla per
con gli Utah Jazz. Lui, Malone e Stockton fanno parte dei primi 6 per
questo punto di vista. Dall'altra parte ovviamente l'effetto di tenere Robinson lontano da canestro non è lo stesso, poi c'è l'effetto Duncan di Karl Malone e dall'altra parte Tim Duncan. Avevamo bollato questa partita.
Allora, il record è di Kerr, però risale al 1995 quando si tirava ad alta distanza. Da quando si è che per esempio non è che Garnett sia del tutto estraneo al curioso record, un altro tipo di squadra probabilmente metterebbe anche numeri più impressionanti rispetto a quelli che peraltro già non sono male, un po' lontana, e cioè l'1,92 che contro difesa schierata può fare questo.
John Stockton non riceve Karl Malone, Stockton non recupera il palleggio per nessun motivo, ma finisce nella tonnara. Il recupero di Duncan fa viaggiare. Questa è una roba che non sta né in cielo né in terra, però adesso diciamo che a San Antonio si spera più di tornare in finale, ecco, che di questo incidente. Ma poi effettivamente era arrabbiato, ma poi è stato preso dal sollievo nel momento in cui è arrivata la notizia che la fascia centrale gira attorno al blocco, poi riceve la palla, fronteggia contro Karl Malone, lavora dal palleggio, vede la linea di fondo,
che quindi non lo ha reso il quattrocentista da Olimpiadi che doveva diventare, che Dio benedica Ugo.
Eh sì, grazie Ugo, non inteso come Sconocchini ma come uragano, altro che 400. Sono l'unica squadra NBA ad avere 5 giocatori, seconda 89, Steve Smith quinta era del pallone che va dove deve andare, dentro da Duncan contro Collins, buonissima difesa di Collins, poi attacca il che io credevo potesse giocare nella NBA, potesse giocare in questa maniera, sorprende un po' anche me, ovvero sia un grande rispetto a Danny Ainge che fa il telecronista per TNT.
Esatto, e ai microfoni TNT mentre Duncan ne mette
11 ai liberi del caraibico silenzioso. NBA Basketball tra poco ancora su Telepiù.
Come notate tutti bianchi perché ieri cosa è successo?
Si sono arenati su una sex piancuria.
Esatto, e questo è destinato a fare un buon baseline bam.
La palla in post medio per Duncan, buona difesa di Collins. Una conclusione facile, eccolo qui, guardatelo nel traffico, ci sono 3 giocatori attorno a lui, finta, non salta Collins, Questo è un tiro di una difficoltà incredibile.
Notare col tipo di fallo che gli hanno dedicato. Poi Kirilenko è arrivato dei mormoni, tanta bella neve, ciao, arrivederci.
Di distanza tra le due formazioni, la palla va dove deve andare, dentro da Duncan, libera lo spazio Charlie Smith, 1 contro 1, arriva il raddoppio.
L'uomo del pick and roll che coinvolge Louis Malone, l'uomo in difesa, è per terra, fatte 3 volte consecutive.
E se va a terra Duncan, qualcosa deve essere successo. Malone prende gran cosa ha fatto il difensore, intanto in precedenza ecco il contatto e si è alzato il gomito veramente come quelli del...
Spurs che comunque si devono ancora guardare da quella puro, salvo accorgersene che però scopi difensivi ce n'hai abbondanti.
Anche lui, ancora Kirilenko a tener vivo il pallone, ma è finita nonostante il tiro della
on that throughout the telecast. As for the Sonics, Rashard Lewis is playing on a very like a balloon. It really is his Achilles, which is bothering him much more now. He cannot the errant pass and into Malik Rose, right by Lewis, who got a piece of it though, and then Duncan with the foul.
Seattle like back off and see what kind of outside shooting touch the Spurs have today.
Outside shooting, Darren Ferry into the game. As Tim Deegan said, that's what I want to do. He was a professional in France by the age of 17. Duncan from Terry.
Then we can run the floor. Then we can get Tim Duncan involved. They double up. That leaves Duncan on his own, and he just rolls in.
So far, 22-10 edge for Seattle. Beautiful pass, Duncan.
Malik Rose and Tim Duncan got about a minute and a half rest on the Spur bench. Here he is. And one for Tim Duncan.
They didn't fall apart. They've been able to extend their lead since the start of the ball game. They have now outscored Seattle
for San Antonio. Why are they just allowing them to drive to the hoop time and time again? The Spurs there, and Malik Rose has been magnificent.
in his easy chair. What are you telling me?
Obviously, you...
Eyes on Duncan. Came up short, Duncan the rebound.
Duncan's in transition. Spread the floor, give him a lane.
Daniels pull up way short, but right to Duncan. Wow. Baker.
That ball was blocked by Tim Duncan.
Every shot now is being challenged by San Antonio.
3-on-2 with a trailer. Duncan is fouled.
And that's what it feels like. Wow.
Vladimir Radmanovic returns for Seattle.
We certainly can try to find Tim Duncan and get something going, and that's what they do again.
Very fake the pass.
As if he's asking Vin Baker to have his coach take him out of the ball. Duncan just puts that ball and his arms right into his opponent's arms and on. Wild runner.
14 on Seattle, 5 on the Spurs. Baker stopped by Duncan, jump ball.
Player, and Duncan is regularly first-team all-league defense in the NBA. You got to turn and face if the other guy is taller than you are.
You can't the worst way. The defending Eastern Conference champ.
Tim Duncan goes glass for point.
Top to bottom, and they're playing like champions today.
No look from Daniels.
It is not to be this afternoon. They have really been manhandled and paid a bit. That is a dejected-looking bench.
For good reason. Daniels got the roll.
All game, though. These games are endless.
Only when the score is like this.
Your hands to play, though.
No, you need your hands, you need your feet, you need your back, and you need your brain, you need your heart.
Duncan behind the backboard.
And you need...
He came into the series averaging 26-6, so he's at his number, and he's gotten a lot of help this afternoon.
Learning quickly.
No insinuations needed.
27 points, 15 rebounds for you, Tim. Team goes down 11-2 in the first few minutes of this game. How did you manage to stabilize the team, and what ignited you so that you guys could sap their energy?
They came out real strong, real excited. The crowd was behind them. We just knew we had to keep fighting back into it. It wasn't like the game was over. It was the first couple minutes. They got up big, but we just kept going at it. And T. Parker did a good job of getting down low, penetrating, finding shooters, and really made a lot happen, made them squeeze in there.
Tim, how important was this victory? Because we're told today by Peter Holt, your owner, that David's doing better, was able to exercise more today. Now it may not be necessary for him to have to come back to Game 4 now. Does this buy him some time?
It does buy him some time, but still I hope he's able to come back for next game. But if he isn't, we're going to hold court for him It's great that we got this one. Hopefully we can get the next one and be ready to go.
Gentlemen, great game by you both. We look forward to seeing you continue. All right, Tom, back to you.
Then gobble up the boards to ignite the break.
And Fox had it knocked away. Here comes Parker. Fisher back. Parker on the recovery. Fisher got a hand in for the San Antonio Spurs. They have the 17-11 lead, and Tim Duncan 0 for 10 from the field. Fox lost it.
Well, that first quarter was a quarter. If Tim Duncan did anything, they would have had a bigger lead, and they've got to get him going, being defended by Robert Ory.
Duncan able to go glass for his first field goal. That last shot. Here's Ory, rejected by Duncan.
You got to see what the outside shot is going and then concentrate on keeping him in front all the time.
Now they want to pick and roll Duncan and Tony Parker, but Tim Duncan is aiming the ball. That's why he's missing now.
Here's Parker penetrating. Oh, it's Duncan able to follow the play and put it down with a minute and a half remaining in what has been a very strange first half. Duncan off the fake, going at O'Neal, and scores.
For them, a big chance for him with this possession.
Beautiful pass.
Rose had the shot tipped, and it's Duncan who has been very active these last. They have never led. It's been San Antonio throughout. They've led by as many as 10. Duncan is fouled. Foul committed by Walker. That is his second. So Tim Duncan. Played by Medvedenko, back for Parker. Duncan on the rebound, and a foul is called. Ory not expecting that pass, and here comes Duncan, leading Rose. A beautiful pass on the hop thrown by Tim Duncan. So it's Parker and Daniels now at the guards, pulling up front with Rose. And Duncan being guarded by Ory with help from George, who came from the blind side to commit the foul.
Good job by San Antonio to get it right into Tim Duncan.
Helped Sacramento with that physical play. Dallas was not ready for it.
Duncan with a power move. 18 points.
Pressure shift to Kobe Bryant. He has the luxury of always being under that big umbrella that Shaq provides. Go right at Kobe. They should isolate him with Antonio Daniels because he is bending over. He can't use that leg right now.
Duncan. And a foul is called. The crowd reacts. Here comes Shaquille O'Neal.
30 feet from the hoop.
Duncan going glass, and that's the first successful angle shot that we have seen Tim Duncan hit. Taking command down the stretch. They now lead 76-71. It's their biggest lead of the game.
Look at, there are 3 guys on Tim Duncan, somebody else in black.
And Smith comes back from downtown.
And equally as important has been his defense on Duncan. He's forcing Duncan to his right for his jumper. On that left box, Tim, he wants to go to his left.
Duncan remaining on the fourth. Robert Ory all over Steve Smith, not allowing the 3.
Chased down by Bowen. He has Parker and Duncan. Duncan right back to Bowen. 5 minutes gone by. Spurs 12. Lakers 9. Duncan going glass. We did not see much of that in game 1. Fox to Walker. Duncan got a piece of it. Shaquille O'Neal sitting down, getting a rest here at the conclusion of the quarter. Tim Duncan able to hit on the finger roll. Rick Fox felt that he was fouled. Duncan backing his way on Ory. Duncan off the spin. Biggest lead of the night for San Antonio. Hunter able to get it down low to George, but Duncan on the block, and then he is hit. Fouled by George, and Tim shaken up.
His finger in the eye that time after the shot was blocked by Duncan. He came down with it, and then George got the hand up in his eye. George thinks he's got a clear shot this one. He forgets that Tim is behind him there for the block.
Brian Shaw lost his man, but he was stopped by Tim Duncan. Here comes Porter. Daniels is open. Yes. Just under 5 remaining in this first half. Mark Bryant. They clear it out. for Duncan, who goes at Walker. And Tim Duncan once again able to find that proper angle. The Lakers winning by 39 and 29 in games 3 and 4. Duncan, yes. And his Lakers are within 4 points after trailing by as many as 21. Tim Duncan with the bucket, and he is fouled.
Shaq coming over his back on that one.
Rose with a beautiful backdoor. Robert Horry now defending on Tim Duncan, who went to the fadeaway. 19 points for Duncan. Bryant up front. Duncan played by Horry. Shot clock at 4. Duncan, yes, and it counts.
Almost the same exact shot, but in about 4 to 5 feet closer. This time he banks it in off the glass. Turning away from the oncoming double team. Kobe coming after him. He winds up getting a clean look at the glass and puts it in.
When we were defending Duncan,
he's starting to bother Robert Horry.
He got under my skin when he got under Canby's skin, which got under my skin.
Bryant using the pick. Bryant stopped by Bowen.
You see who this ball actually goes off to. I know it looked to me like it was off of Black right there on Duncan swatting it, and instead we'll get a jump ball.
A minute 20 remaining in the 4th. Duncan gets it inside, and Rose lays it
That's
home.
the same play that they just missed the last time down the floor when the ball went through Rose's hand. Big man on Duncan. There's the late drop-off pass. That time he catches and completes.
Corner, not giving him the shot from downtown. Duncan, a lot of contact. Robert Horry tried to draw the foul, but no call. Lakers try to trap. Here's Rose pushing it to Duncan. Antonio Daniels, who played very well the other night in Los Angeles, getting set to come on. Duncan, once again, going glass, once again led beautifully. Duncan, set up beautifully by Robinson.
I resent that.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Which pleases him, actually, Jeff. Nice move by Duncan. Parker met by Fisher. Rose whipping by O'Neal. Now that's something that would not happen. A minute gone by in the 4th. Walker putting moves on Duncan and coming up way short. Duncan, yes. Now Bryant using the pick and roll for O'Neal. Offensive foul.
His first 2 or 3 minutes of the 4th quarter, then bring him back out to finish the game.
Duncan for Robinson. We are early in the 4th, game 3 of the best of 7. The series tied at 1. Duncan gets the roll. And Smith in the backcourt. Robinson up front with Duncan. In San Antonio, Lakers now lead by 10. A minute 35 remaining in the 4th. Here's Smith. That's a 2-pointer. He had the foot on the line. And Kobe Bryant with 11 of his 31 here in the 4th quarter. Here's Duncan again from downtown.
For much of the opening series against Seattle. And here's Tony Parker, who had that career high 24 on Friday night to get the San Antonio Spurs. The number of injuries that Shaquille O'Neal is playing through, although he managed a solid game on Friday night. Here is Robinson for the other night. Played more minutes than people anticipated.
They were ready early. They had the dark glasses on in the inside dark room.
All right, Tim Duncan on the fire. And Rick Popovich. Robert Horry doing a good job fronting on Duncan. Now Duncan takes it. Duncan double team gets it to Robinson.
A little carried away there, calling one of the top 5 playoff performances.
No, 10 away. He said 10 or 15.
which I would buy. I would buy 10 to 15. He said he's among the top 10 to 15. 38 years old, his third year with his Spurs. Once again, Bryant to the reverse. Bryant on the follow. Rebounded by Rose. And here comes Daniels. Rolling down.
I don't think that their three-point shooters are not getting shots. They're just not making it.
Shaquille O'Neal is back, greeted by the crowd as he stepped back on and is called for the foul. That's his second.
And that's exactly what Duncan has to do. Tim Duncan comes out of this scrum here holding his hip. And he didn't even get hit on that hip, so that is not a good sign.
Duncan, an 80% free throw shooter. A dramatic season when he was at 68. Tony Parker is back. Parker and Daniels now in San Antonio.
Over the years, David Robinson had his number with him. He was quicker and he was healthier. And the arrival of Tim Duncan has changed that matchup. It used to be brute strength versus quickness.
Jack playing with 2 fouls, as is Bryant, as is Ori. Here is Bowen, who Duncan draws the double team. Duncan looking to put the move on Walker and a foul. It's on Samaki Walker. Now these are two guys who faced each other quite a bit in practice. Samaki Walker spent 2 years with San Antonio. Lakers are now over the foul limit. So Tim Duncan to the line. He's 2 for 2 from the line. He has scored or assisted on 8 of the Spurs' 14 field goals. So 10 points, make it 11 now, along with 4 assists. Well, the cast of The Cosby Show is back with memories and moments that we all love. The Cosby Show, a look back, that'll be next Sunday night at 9, 8 Central right here.
Perfect position, forcing Shaq to take tough shots, and Shaq has been making them.
Duncan gets inside. Has very little room to operate against Walker. So San Antonio playing well, and they've taken a 6-point advantage. Duncan only 9 for 26, although he did have 28 points and 12 rebounds. Parker gives it right back to Duncan.
Now, this is when they get in trouble, when they're not sure what they want to run, and Duncan has the ball.
And Duncan took a hit again as he went behind the back. Duncan is 4 for 4 at the line, and the 14th foul on the Spurs. Lakers have been over the limit for some time. Bryant being played by Bowen, and Bryant forced to give it up. So it's tipped home.
Walker.
The backcourt with Steve Smith, who did not play much in that first half. Bruce Bowen up front with Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
You can see Kobe Bryant is daring Bowen to shoot, so he's getting in the passing line.
Duncan over Ori. A slow start.
And that's what always happens against rotating defense. And if you got a player that's patient like Fox, you can get that way.
Duncan got the step and possession, so San Antonio leads 50 to 46. And Parker recovers, was deflected to the backcourt by Fisher, who may be hurt. Here's Duncan.
On this Shaq really hard foul, there was not a single bit of movement from the bench on San Antonio in terms of complaining as to what was that about and as relating to a flagrant foul or not.
And it is not a flagrant. Derek Fisher trying to walk it off. Remember, he has made it back from that stress fracture in his right foot, and last year came back in explosive fashion. As the Spurs can attest to, he was on fire downtown in the playoff series against San Antonio.
We hope he's okay. Rick Fox can't even get up off the floor.
It's a 5-on-4 for the Spurs.
Get you, Rick.
Bryant rebounded by Walker, and a loose ball foul, a push-out ball on Samaki Walker.
Big games, you really have no chance.
Lakers over the foul limit. And Duncan now 8 of 9 at the line.
So Fox, who got hit by Shaq as well in that melee, is going to go to the bench, and Devin George sneaks in.
Here's Parker. Rose for Duncan. And
just establish control of this game.
Robert Horry is back. Jack sits down after picking up his fourth. Here's Duncan over Walker. Urge the Spurs on. Duncan working on Horry. Has to give it up. Here's Bowen. That's his favorite spot on the floor. The left-hand corner from three-point range. Duncan is fouled.
To deflect passes and to keep them out of their momentous delivery of the ball. Just so much fun to watch, Horry.
What an outstanding game it has been for this man, the NBA's most valuable player. 28 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. So the Spurs back with a 10-point lead, and if the Lakers are going to come back in this one, Kobe Bryant has to relocate the touch. He's missed his last 7 shots. He's 7 for 23 from the field. Shot clock to 5. Fisher eluding Curry. Hands it off. Cuts it off. 24-second violation. The Lakers need Kobe Bryant to catch fire. He's missed his last 7 shots. Here's Bryant spinning, dumps it off. Down to 7. Duncan is fouled.
Been here so many times. The confidence that they have to get it done. And Shaq is kicking the ball out of the dunk.
For the Spurs, the Lakers in front, 3-1. You can point that out to the players because you don't want them to be discouraged. Duncan, it counts. And the foul. And Tim Duncan took a shot. So he will go to the line. Foul committed by Robert Horry.
You would expect him to use his left hand as he comes across here, but he doesn't. He reaches in with the right hand. That will initiate the body contact, or he probably anticipated the lefty hook.
Rick Popovich also said we have to play with much more emotion. With the 3 seconds remaining in regulation, Duncan off a beautiful lead from Parker. That's when Terry Porter fumbled the basketball. They never even got a shot off. All right, thanks, D. In that game 7, they blew that huge double-digit lead. Here's Duncan, and the Spurs with a 13-6 advantage, a 10-2 run. San Antonio up by 3, and now Walker is defending on Duncan. Tim Duncan gets the rope. Second quarter is underway. Duncan on the follow, and that's the first offensive rebound of the game. San Antonio by 7. They're going with Duncan, Rose, and Bowen up front. Daniels and Porter in the backcourt. Shot clock down to 2. Here's Duncan. George tried to get him from behind. Here's the double on Duncan. Horry talking to Duncan. And Tim Duncan answering with the nice jump hook.
Marv, Greg Popovich hit exactly on what Jeff said earlier, that the key to this victory for them will be their turnovers here in the second half. He thinks their defense continues to be great as it has been all series. And in terms of Steve Smith, who only played 4 minutes, he said, I'm going to go with who is most effective.
And Staples. Duncan going glass, so Tim Duncan comes right back with a beautiful angle shot. Duncan has 26.
David Robinson and Dennis Rodman both had 22 rebounds in the playoff series.
Fisher gets inside, but rejected by Duncan as this fourth quarter gets underway. So Duncan is back on the floor. Fox coming over to help out, leaves Ferry open for 3. And that's a big one for the head of Lindsey Hunter. We talked earlier about the fact that he struggled in the playoffs last season for the Bucks. Here's Rose giving it up to Duncan. Tim Duncan with the bucket, and he is fouled. So Duncan will go to the line.
That's all a result of the Laker defense being very aggressive. Fox missed the steal, wound up opening up the court. Duncan made the nice fake, stepped underneath, drew the foul, and got the basket.
And that number 4 on Fox. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter. Beautiful pass. Daniels with the recovery, and Antonio Daniels, who had that 0 for 5 the other night. Shot clock to 3. Bowen. Bruce Bowen at the 24-second buzzer ties the game at 79.
How about giving a little bit of credit to Tim Duncan, chasing the ball down, getting it to Bowen. We were talking, Jeff and I, during the last time out. We didn't include you, Mark,
yes,
but
I noticed.
We mentioned that suddenly after that flurry of offensive rebounds by Kobe, you hadn't heard very much from him, then he hits the big basket.
And Antonio Daniels has come up big, 13.7 in this fourth quarter. Daniels for 3. Duncan on the rebound. 92-87, 33 seconds remaining in the fourth. Who are able to take over in the fourth quarter for the third straight game and defeat the Spurs. The Lakers 93, the Spurs 87. It will be the Los Angeles Lakers and the Sacramento Kings in the Western Conference Final Series.
Interesting matchup. Stromile Swift against Tim Duncan. Stromile likes to block shots. We'll see how.
It's left wrist. Parker thought about dribbling on the inside, backs it out, dumps it on the inside. Duncan last season against the Memphis Grizzlies. Ginobili sends it to Duncan over Gasol. Early on for both teams.
Tim Duncan using the ball fake well. Parker cutting baseline, but you will see a lot of that tonight.
Have struggled this year from downtown, shooting 28%, 7 on the shot clock. Swift flies by, Parker takes it to the hole.
Easy layup, and Powell lagging behind.
Pau Gasol has it blocked by Duncan. Parker once again. Go at the age of 19, 9.2. Here's Duncan. Lorenzen working on him. Duncan turns off glass. To work on Battier. Lorenzen helps out. Williams closes out on Parker. Underneath 5 of the shot clock. Left hand Duncan. What are you going to do? Here's Gasol. Up fake. Driving.
The smallest amount of contact can make you lose the basketball, and the pitch.
Williams, Gasol, Gooden, Battier, Swift on the court for Sidney Lowe. Robinson, high-low feed. 2 fouls. Pass taken away by 50 percentile from the free throw line. Here's Duncan. Underneath Robinson. Rose. Here's Duncan. Guarded by Powell. Duncan with the left hand. Turnovers, but on the point guard position. Jason Williams with just 1. Brevin with just 1. Duncan rides 71-67. They're locked into a tight one here.
Communication between he and Garrett.
Duncan away from the bucket. Puts it on the floor. Hands it off underneath. Gets it back. Off glass. Gooden will try to work on the MVP. Has it pinned. Off the bench has 19. Kerr. Duncan thought about it from the outside. Swift back in, playing with 4.
Be aggressive on the defensive end.
Duncan. The double comes. Parker left for 3. Oh, and of the shot clock. Here's Duncan. Puts it on the floor and goes in. This is the team right now, San Antonio, as Duncan fighting underneath and gets the roll. Bowen on the wing, dumps it inside. Here's Duncan. Duncan, left hand. And the lead now sliced to 3 as Duncan goes down on Pau Gasol. Taking the shots here in the overtime for San Antonio.
Tim Duncan putting the Spurs on his shoulder for every single point tonight. Forces San Antonio to have to foul.
Duncan was wide open. The pass got to him late. 0.4 of a second to go.
Yeah, that's the Grizzlies not talking on the defensive end to leave Duncan wide open by himself underneath the basket.
Here's Duncan. Kerr, the specialist. Got it. Kerr. Duncan. Duncan makes the move over Powell.
And plenty of time.
This is exactly what Jack Neese is looking at. The instant replay, which was brought in this year for situations just like this. Duncan rising up over Pau Gasol. Plenty of time.
Yeah, no question about this one. Duncan releases the ball with 0.6, 0.7 left on the clock. That's why he's MVP. Pau Gasol all over him.
Duncan 9 points in overtime, and Jack Neese says yes, it was good. And you see the...
Из Франции Джордан не решился на свой первый бросок в этом матче, вернее даже обычно около 20 очков за игрой, при этом делает около 10 передач, около 8 подборов. Робинсон, в новом качестве сегодня пробует Робинсон. Но вот сейчас Джордану приходится начинать опять в снайперских качествах. Ничем Стекхаусу, на мой взгляд, не выступал. Лишний раз висеть. А у Данкана из этого положения может забить. Неплохо против него, хотел сказать, неплохо. 44, 34 очка проиграли запасные игроки Сан-Антонио. Их еще не перебрали. Малик Роуз, Паркер. Ну что, великолепная скидка на Данкана и хороший бросок. Стекхаус, вот 16, 2/3. И знакомая комбинация в исполнении Данкана и Робинсона. Фантастический бросок. Итан Томас, еще раз смотрим эту атаку. Ну, действительно, из невероятного положения Данкан завершил. Он плавает по 5 километров. Плавал, чем играл в баскетбол. Акулу, да, или пригласите покататься его. Что он тоже что-то умеет. Ну, достаточно Стекхаус. Ну, а Данкан показывает, что хороший дриблинг у него есть в наличии. Ну, это была не передача, конечно. Деннис Родман ногу ударил вот в аналогичном эпизоде же фотокорреспондента. Противным Вашингтона в первых двух четвертях был Майкл Джордан с 12 блокшотов. В общем, список достаточно длинный. Не играли с Нью-Йорк Никс, и уже одного баскетболиста потеряли, Кевин Уиллис. Хотя есть еще опытнейший Чарльз Окли, он может. Слышал прикосновенный, как вы знаете, то есть любой. Смотрим за ответом. Паркер получает хорошую передачу от Данкана, отдел для акул. Ну вот, наверное, Тима Данкана он бы туда пригласил. Накануне она просал, ну может быть 2, но один раз точно он попал. А так стесняется несколько. 4-кратный обладатель чемпионства и один из игроков в истории национального баскетбола. Был, ну по крайней мере, кинет через него без приказа тренер, один из тренеров Сан-Антонио. В любом случае, конечно, неумышленно он это делает. Конечно, бьется. Ну а вы видите, кто готов. Стоктона, который тоже вполне возможно проводит свой последний сезон. Хотя со Стоктоном, наверное, так зарекаться нельзя. Но посмотрим, что... Подборки 5 блокшотов. Почти в реке Рилипса, так что... Ну, рано или поздно потеря и не побежал, и Стив Смит, конечно же... Давайте пробить штрафную. Судья показал, что вроде мяч не засчитан. Смотрим еще раз повтор. Тони Паркер пока что разыгрывает мяч. Данкан, Робинсон. Все. Соперником команда Сан-Антонио уже давно перешагнули этот рубеж гости, точнее хозяева сегодняшней встречи. Но даже 70%. Ответную передачу от Данкана. Бросает и практически нет. Данкан забивает. Ну что, все, да, невысокий. Либо Стив Кер, либо Джинобили. Может быть, вышел на секунду. Ну, после травмы посмотрим. А пока придется на бросковую позицию. Пас Смит попадает.
Both teams are active right now. Both teams they've come out here to play. This is the kind of basketball you love to watch.
He thought about the shot. Bowen dumps it down to Duncan. Robinson cutting, has to turn his back to the hoop and still drops it.
You see Tim Duncan down low. When he sees the double team coming, Dave does a great job of cutting down the lane. The help side defense is not able to get in front of David Robinson.
Bowen. Duncan sets the screen and then rolls off it, gets it back. Boy, they're doing a nice job converging in the paint. Nope. Rose calling for the ball. Duncan was left alone for a moment and then drops it over the court. 7 miles per hour.
Do those numbers, are they supposed to mean something?
Tim Duncan.
I tell you what, hockey truly is a great sport. When you watch it in person,
Throw it up. If it doesn't go in, he's going to get it.
And he just overpowers the other big men. He knows how to get the ball.
Nice cut by Jackson. That'll be goaltending at the other end.
Far, Tim Duncan's been dominant in the paint area. You see, he seals Pat Burke, then he goes after the ball. And this is just physical. Pat Burke, if he's not so physical, Tim Duncan's able to throw that little jump hook and lay it in. And once the double team comes, he gets rid of it.
Garrity into Kemp. Oh my, did you see Kemp get rid of Bowen? Get out of here. Oh, great run going the other way. Ginobili, how about that? That's goaltending. Little deep. Ginobili gets the ball. Down to Duncan. Great finish. Shot. Up well short now. Approaching a minute left here in the first half. Parker floats in. Won't stay. Goes back after his own. And that's inexcusable if you're Orlando. Kevin Frazier, Greg Anthony, and Ahmad Rashad will have a look at what else is going on around the league, including a look at Tracy McGrady. It's all coming up in a moment.
Your jumper, he's 15 feet away from the bucket. He's not even looking for a shot now.
Tim Duncan, the number nicely.
Oh, I love Tim Duncan using the bank here. He's about 10 feet away. Unstoppable, nice, soft touch. Nothing but the bottom for the big fella. Brady or Kobe Bryant, when they penetrate to the basket, they can put up a shot and still beat you to the offensive rebound.
Tim. And right now, Orlando has to be careful not
to those 3-pointers.
Rose now wants to work on Garrity. Duncan out to Ginobili. He drives. Has to re-clutch midway down and does so. Garrity with it. Thought about the three again. Finds McGrady. Catches a foul call, but there's some other hands down there in the crowd letting the officials know it. Bird. There.
Little basketball, so they went on a tough road trip.
Parker drops it off to Duncan. Duncan, a little too strong. Malik Rose tips that one in from the midcourt. Burke on the switch has him in the corner. Ginobili wide open. Three rattles halfway down. Duncan gets the rebound. Too strong. Tips it back. Headed on top. Looking to stretch it. Bowen into Duncan. Draws that crowd again. Parker sees an opening. Goes right at the Clark. For them to make it up the way they play the game.
Here's Tim Duncan. Pass out to Tony Parker. Does a great job penetrating. Nice little floater.
Duncan on the floor to David Robinson. Duncan now. Swings it back out for Parker. Duncan gets it, and he loses to Clerk and gets Parker now into Duncan. And we're going to see the great ones for San Antonio try and respond. There it is. Hilo again on the group. Ginobili into Duncan. 7 seconds. Duncan trying to clear some space. Goes back at his own miss and kisses it down.
Here it is, trying to drive around to Clark, who does an excellent job, by the way, of moving his feet. But now he's out of the play. Tim Duncan with the first offensive rebound. The second one, he gets it to fall. Clark did a great job here playing defense, except for he needs to get back in this play.
And I got news for you, Sean. I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is one of those, I'm just going to throw it up there and then go get my own back.
Exactly. A la Moses Malone.
Vaughn into the hands of McGrady. Bowen right out there. 2 seconds. 1. McGrady release. Off the mark. And the Spurs come in to Orlando and steal one.
And Dave, with Tim Duncan, you have hit game winners before, many this season. How did this one unfold?
It was a play for me to come off a screen. I thought I'd have an open look at it coming off the screen. The Clark did a great job getting over it. I just drove it and actually got hit in the eye on the way, so I just kind of threw it off the glass and went and got it.
You guys are on a long road trip, your longest in franchise history, and trying to grind out wins on the road with a sense of purpose. Describe what the mindset of this team was tonight.
This is a great time for us to get an identity on the road. We hadn't played well at all, and most of our losses come on the road, and we're not very good. So we're trying to build a personality on this team, get some character, and wins like this will do that.
Congratulations, Tim.
Thank you.
Back to you, John.
187 win over Miami last Wednesday night. They have won 4 straight. The Spurs have won 5 consecutively.
The most telling thing, Pete, about the Spurs on this road trip, it's so important to get that first rebound. I mean, they're not a great rebounding team, but if you give them second and third opportunities, eventually they're going to hurt you.
Parker, little show and go in the lane. Tony Parker. Rashid from outside. And Wallace, the 3 run. San Antonio also +3 in the rebounding category as Duncan works against Wallace.
And that is his first chance to score, and he finishes. So Duncan finally on the board.
Pippen, who had 5 steals against Miami.
Tough play, Duncan. And we'll sit and we'll see how Portland rolls here in the last 2 minutes as Pippen goes for 3.
Scottie Pippen. 30. Steve Smith and Bonzi Wells. Now Duncan against Sabonis. Duncan with the elevation, and Steve, you had indicated that.
So Portland's got to get this one up and down.
Pippen for 3. It's through. We're tied at 25. Pippen 2 for 2 from downtown. Parker. Patterson against Duncan. Realized he might want to regroup here. Derek Anderson returns to the Portland lineup. Pippen with 7 to shoot. D.A. trying to take Jackson off the dribble. Step back gun. Off the iron. Tony Parker, who hurt the Blazers in the first quarter, brings it to Duncan against Dale Davis. And here in the second quarter.
They got a smaller, quicker team out on the floor, and Cheeks wants to match up. They come to Duncan again right at the rim.
Dale Davis coming over, but by that time Duncan had caught it and dropped it in. He's got 10. Malik Rose leads all scores with a dozen for San Antonio. The Spurs back in front. Pippen's pull-up is right through. Blazers now
on the scoreboard.
Patterson wants to work against Rose. Gets the bump, scoops, can't score.
Well, sometimes Ruben doesn't go in with the idea of finishing. Pippen, great save, but Duncan is there to put it away.
Pippen the block, but Duncan the hoop, and San Antonio a 3-point lead as we go under 2 minutes to play in the first half.
Helped Derek Anderson out, but he got caught.
Blazers 0 for their last 6 possessions.
Yeah, we know that 3 of them have been right at the rim, and Parker goes for a 3 to lose you.
Pippen goes to the reverse. Patterson, loose ball foul, going to be called against San Antonio. Bruce Bowen. Another technical foul. And James Caper says, we're not talking about anything. And it's a technical on Bonzi, and Bonzi's just been tossed out. Bonzi Wells, who is working on a triple-double style game with 6 boards, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds, is kicked out with 2 technicals with 25.85 to 33, and the Lakers leading Denver by 10 in the second quarter. But Steve, we talked about the benches at the top of the telecast, and although no bench players on the floor right now, Ruben Patterson, though, getting the start in the second.
You know that San Antonio is going to try to keep Wallace from getting started. They're going to double him. Duncan with the block. This is the guy that they got to get under control, because he is beating them with penetration, and that in front of you, then you control what they do offensively.
Wallace dumped down to Dale. He's hoping for a call against Tim Duncan, but the Blazers will take the hoop. And again, Parker quickly on the attack, and as Anshots pointed out in the first half, Derek Anderson now tracking Parker, a little bit more quickness, and the Spurs nearly turn it over on the over and back. But Duncan is there to save. Parker off the penetration, sets up Steven Jackson, and right now the Blazers do not have a defensive answer. Shot clock, Duncan against Dale Davis. Duncan fouled on the release. Line. Duncan making his first trip to the line, and in the 2 previous games the Blazers did a good job of keeping him off the stripe. He only shot 6 free throws in the 2 previous games.
You know, you cannot.
Wallace against Bowen. Hit and a hoop. 3-point opportunity for Rasheed Wallace. We'll bring it to Duncan, but Dale Davis had him stymied. Rose against Wallace, 10 to shoot. Parker thought about the 3, gets the step against Anderson. Rose bobbles. Blazers take it away. Patterson ahead of the field. Yeah! Tied at 59. Bowen. You just cannot leave him open at 47% from beyond the arc. His 9th rebound of the game. .5:20 to go in the third. Duncan looking to drive against Dale Davis, who knocks it away. Great play by Dale. D.A. for Pippen. Blazers having to dig and scratch and claw. Bowen.
Opening quarter, your old Arizona teammate Steve Kerr, who's been giving Parker a break, running the point. Duncan over O'Neal. Consecutive games, and all of them coming on the road. They can set a new mark with a victory here tonight. Tim Duncan, who along with Tony Parker has had...
That was a good week for me.
51?
50, oh, yeah. And now we're talking 4 or 5 from the field, and that's key. I mean, a lot of guys are volume scorers, which means...
Rookie of the Year, a Finals MVP to his credit. You see Tim Duncan, who shoots. Ryan almost finished the alley-oop. This one is in the act, so Tim will try to take over.
Be at possession of the ball, you get fouled in the air. Because sometimes you see that on offense.
Job defensively, and Steven Jackson that time saw him. Oh, I've got him right now. He just flew right past him. Duncan, and there's Tim Duncan right there. The ability
when you feel it necessary. It's okay. I'll accept it like a man.
Duncan right across at Walker. Tough shot.
Rolled it in. Just kind of scraped the rim a little bit. And right here, man, you talk about Samaki Walker hanging all over him, just hanging in the air, one hand kiss off the glass. Play, you know, a slow style of game more often than not. And when you have the two big guys, you can take more chances outside. Speaking of, someone should hit the floor in the next 45 seconds.
All right.
With
Mark 3-minute mark, we see that. Duncan. A living. Tim Duncan 323 times in 421 NBA games, a double-double. His 36th of the season. It's one of the reasons the Spurs are going for 7 in a row, trying to get to 19 over 500. And they lead by 9 as off we go to the... Thank goodness somebody was there. Back to Duncan, see if he can respond. First touch off the bench, Parker at 3. Sits the crowd down. 9 points in 50 games. Average just under 30. Duncan on Ori. Tough release. Duncan came across the lane for 2.
We talk about Tim. Good defense by Ori here. Bodies him, makes him lean in. You're going to live with a shot like that. I mean, that's hurts when you're trying to make a comeback. You got to hold him to 1 and out.
Duncan, who has a double-double with just his offensive rebounds tonight. 10
earlier because he just too small. He can't affect the shot.
Duncan takes O'Neal away from his defensive comfort zone, then drives at it, draws the D, and Bowen rips hard on a 3.
Plays with for a second-year guy that stands out even more so than the points he puts up. Second leading scorer on the team. He's got to run the team as well. I mean, he's got to do it all. Given the disclaimer, it's only his 2nd year. Not even his full 2nd year. 1.5 years.
Down to 12:30, Mr. Walter will join us. Devin George misses, and that
recupero perfezionato proprio da uno dei due 21 di qui sopra, ovvero sia Tim Duncan, che poi riceve una splendida in qualsiasi serata di mettere assieme una tripla doppia. Ne ha messe 5 in questa stagione, partenza clamorosa
in una gara tra le più belle che potremmo proporvi oggi a livello di NBA.
Lo scarico di Bowen per Duncan, che cerca ancora caratteri diversi, stili diversi. Dice Garnett, io sono il mago delle finte, ma questo è il mago di un mistero.
Sì, è veramente difficile angolare la palla dalla posizione dove ha ricevuto. Segnino a roster come 7 piedi e 1. Probabilmente lo è, lui dice no, dovete scrivere 6 e 11. Oh Kevin, facciamo come dici.
Si chiude in questa maniera.
Un libro che non vorresti finisse mai. 2 fuori classe, 1
rimbalzi e 4 assist, che non sono neppure pochissimi quelli di Tim Duncan, altrettanto irreali. Eccolo tirare dall'altro capolavoro di testa di un giocatore cerebrale come uno scacchista su un campo di basket. Eccolo usato
di tutti i compagni, 2-13.
Anche 2-15 probabilmente. Qui intanto lo stile di tiro, siamo direttamente nelle mani di Stephen Jackson, un falco che continua a recuperare palloni. Qui alza per Tim.
Meglio che ci stia Duncan su Garnett.
Palla che schizza letteralmente nelle mani di Hudson, il tiro sbagliato, Duncan vede davanti a tutti. Inserirsi in questo sistema, e questo è un sistema che ti può veramente premiare.
Sì?
Beh, è ovvio che sia così.
Non ci sono altre possibilità. Effettivamente GG, The Sunshine Band non è fatta da fuori classe, però quando c'è Garnett in campo regge.
Duncan contro Garnett, la lotta per la posizione. Chiaramente non può sapere a questo punto dove sia il tabellone. Guardate quante volte è stato spinto fuori, boom, boom. Di Jackson, come KG abbia toccato questa palla non è dato a saperlo. Adesso siamo dall'altra parte, va verso il centro Duncan, niente tabellone.
Stiamo già flirtando coi 20 in 21 bianco.
E avete visto che Duncan può andare verso il fondo da una parte, andare verso il centro dall'altra, tirare con l'aiuto del tabellone, tirare senza l'aiuto del tabellone. Quello che fa veramente la differenza leggendo questi due giocatori è il numero.
Sta fuori dall'ordinario.
Ancora Duncan, 1 contro 1 con Garnett, non cade sulla finta, l'aiuto sul fondo di Ginobili.
punto di incontro tra l'egoismo di Parker in certe situazioni. Potenzialmente aveva uno scarico.
Eccolo qui, ricevere, non ha tanto ritmo per prendere la stessa identica lunghezza d'onda tra Duncan e Ginobili. Eccolo Duncan che riceve 5 secondi al termine dell'azione.
Eccellente attività, ecco la esecuzione del cardinale. Sai che sta per andare 1 contro 1, ha varie opzioni, ancora una volta col corpo riesce a separare.
Per Duncan il taglio di Bowen, ovviamente raddoppiato da Zerbiak, lo attacca da palleggio, ributta fuori per Bowen. Ecco il tiro che Bowen non azzarda il tiro, gioca il pick and roll con Ginobili, attacca Ginobili, arriva da dietro Piller, la palla arriva comunque. Arbitro, qui responsabilità di Bowen, vediamola la suerte, sì, mucha suerte.
mucha suerte, anche perché proprio la palla è finita dove doveva andare a finire, però questi alti bassi e questi pick and roll che li
perché questa è una linea di penetrazione notevole, poi poteva essere difeso meglio quel pallone, ma gli dei
può far di peggio. Ecco, i T-Wolves stanno lottando.
Sono piccole cose, ma sono cose immense per il giocatore degli Spurs che ai liberi viaggia con il settore.
Comincia a diventare tutt'altro che un sogno. Ecco, allora lì poi andiamo a vedere se per caso passassero il primo turno. Jackson, Kevin Garnett, magnifica gara, e anche Pop.
Well, Malik Rose, is the biggest factor here. Whether he can continue his stellar play of late as a reserve now. Duncan on the drain.
And Lincoln, there are those who travel. Those who travel well.
To be the MVP, who did they vote for? They voted for, it was very close to
the ball at his head. They lead him way too far. You're battling for position. Dump it down right into guys' wheelhouse.
Duncan leans in on Jamal.
Basket, kill you every time. Wasn't really a pump fake, that's just bad hands right there. He's getting it done, Nets, and on the defensive end here. With an elbow and Duncan who goes over the top. Regaining his balance, but Tim Duncan along the baseline, the use of the elbow to get around your guy, but the ability to keep.
I can actually relate to that story because Shaq rookie year when I was playing with Orlando, he would get double and triple teamed just like he is now. Look out!
And there came almost everything.
Not screws everything up, and right here, little backward flip. Guess it's going to clean it up. Offensive rebound. Then I've seen him in a while. He's really firing off after the board.
He is rounding into form. There's no doubt about that. Duncan struggled today, but that one he got to go. At 7, Houston here in San Antonio, 9:30 the next Sunday. Will all be in Minnesota for the Mavericks and the Timberwolves. Want to talk about the MVP. Now that's all you want to talk about.
The pole that got him going, Brad.
Yeah, I know. It said he is
staying right in Parker's face.
Jackson wide open. Duncan. He got Boxer on him. Here's a baseline jumper. It's an air ball, but Duncan is there. What a pass. What a pass.
O'Neal missed it. Big men on the run. Shaq is slow to get back. How to capitalize. Bowen inside. Probably just for 17. And Duncan has a gift of a rebound. Get moving. Give him some support.
That's something he's got to be able to give them.
Duncan left it for Robinson. Around the world. 7:08 remaining third quarter. SBC Center starting to rock as the two big guys combine to get the lead back in.
David Stern announced that from now on, Community Assist Award will be. And as he told Michelle, it almost gets embarrassing sometimes. He's in the front court, no doubt about it.
Too close to make it where they are.
Tim Duncan from the elbow, got it.
Give a lot of credit to Bruce Bowen and his spirit today.
Whoa! Don't think they don't love this here. Shaq getting an offensive foul. Great job by Tim Duncan, sticking his nose in there.
Duncan was
next on ABC Sports following up.
Duncan. Too much hesitation.
Tim Duncan, top of the circle, he got it. And then Tim Duncan, top of the circle straight away.
Think about Kobe's shot
in this fourth quarter to get back in it.
Well, it's got to be Duncan, and it's got to be cutting. People got to be moving.
Here's Duncan over Ori. Just like
the Atlanta Hawks. What about them? They're playing great ball. They won again.
Well, San Antonio won here today.
In this league, he's not a star, but he's a hustler. He's aggressive. He plays bigger than his size just because of his heart, and he can spread the defense by making some shots.
Those goes 1 of 2. Nice setup for Bo Outlaw, blocked by Duncan.
That might not be the shot they're looking for out of a double team with Rose shooting a corner three. But you see him, double team with Duncan even when he's 20 feet away from the basket.
Off the block, Ginobili the other way.
Threes, but so he's a little bit rusty, but he's capable of knocking down 4 or 5 in a row.
Duncan running the floor.
It's exactly what happened in game 1. The Suns got off to a great start, and then a nice little run by the Spurs, but Duncan does a great job. He runs as good as any big man ever. Does a great job of sealing in the paint. Williams just late getting back, and nobody covers him up quick enough.
A 13 to...
Great job by Danny Ferry and Steven Jackson right there. Ferry to keep the ball alive, and Jackson to run it down.
Great pass from Duncan. Spurs by 4. Jackson wide open. That's a 3. That's their 4th team foul. Coming up, a minute remaining here in the first half.
I used to do what, by the way?
He used to hack like that.
So they got some easy fast break points. So it's not just in the numbers, but what it does to their half-court offense and how it widens the basket. See, they're coming right on catch now. They're just... Marion, I think, was late on the time before, Dan, but I don't think they're going to change their game plan now after having so much success.
So this season, he shot 71%. He started off very poorly from the line.
7 shots on 11 points tonight. Last game, only 12 shots. Danny, I think they got to get it to him more often.
Of course, Jackson hit the jumper, so it's a 1-shot foul. Now, Duncan wants the ball. Stoudemire on him. Duncan backs it in.
Be able to stop that all night. You can settle for that shot anytime.
Duncan looking for a shot.
The foul on Voskuil. Here you see Duncan in the post. Double team's a little late. Takes it to the glass. Nice jump hook. Then Duncan again here is going to take the double team. And you know what? He says, forget you guys. I'm going to do this myself. I'm the best player in this league. And I'm going to carry the team.
Duncan off the glass. Duncan missed the 2 big ones at the end of game 1. 10 points here in the 4th quarter. Marbury can't connect. And this series is tied.
Tim, you started the game off a little bit slow receiving the ball, but in the 4th quarter, you had 11 points and really turned up the notch on offense.
Yeah, I had to try to down 6 or 8 points. I just thought I'd try to get in there, get the ball low, get some quick shots out before the double team could get there.
Well, what a team win. Ferry, Jackson, and Claxton both came out. All 3 of them came out and played great basketball for you guys.
You know what? These guys have been stepping up all year. People go down for us, and we find ways to kind of fill spots. And again, we did the same thing tonight.
Well, you come out with a split in the first round here. What are you thinking about for game 3?
Well, honestly, I think we're better on the road. So we're going to go out there and try to get these 2 and try to turn it back into our home court advantage.
All right, good win, man. See you down the road. All right, Mike.
An 0 of 8 from 3. Jackson on a pick and pop to Duncan. Had it rattled free right to Jackson. Has been shooting well. Shooting because in game 1, Duncan missed 3 free throws in the last
makers, and most of the time team makes big pressure free throws. San Antonio, best record in the league. I mean, they had a tremendous second half of the season. They feel that this is the team, and he gets his first score.
2 minutes left here in the quarter, and Marion slipped as he delivered the jump shot and threw him off. He missed. Very versatile player as well. Sends it over to Duncan. Looks to Robinson.
Faint combination, Duncan to Robinson. Watch out, Bo Outlaw. What Tim Duncan will do is play with his team. He will give the ball up, and you're always amazed at a guy that gets such consistency.
To Stoudemire, cross court, Jacobson for 3. Nope. And Duncan with 3 boards, 2 assists, and he's yet to take a shot until now when he drives into the lane.
And then Tim Duncan, who has not seen many chances.
Just a screen, the cross court, Mark, take that Hardaway leading into a 3.
Around him, and that makes an opportunity open for one of San Antonio's first. Ginobili airs that.
3 of 12. Penny Hardaway into the lane, a running lefty with Duncan.
And Phoenix was able to fight their way back in it. And Phoenix had a lead late in the ball game, could not finish the game. He'll come in and throw a couple of fouls on Tim Duncan.
16 minutes. If you're just joining us, he did not shoot. Hardaway draws the double outside the Johnson center of the floor. He missed a jump shot. Ginobili up in his grill, forcing him baseline for the lean-in touch. Missed it from
sit and watch.
Amari Stoudemire hit the first, missed the second.
It's an offensive scheme. Amari Stoudemire underhand.
With the left hand, the offhand missed it. Ball rattled away from Duncan by Marion. Missed it from point-blank range. Duncan with a rebound. This time
as they tried to strip him of the ball.
Johnson outside off the screen. Missed the long-range jump shot. Ball batted by Ginobili to Duncan. A great pass up the floor.
And Joe Johnson trying to come back, but this is the previous possession where there are so many Phoenix Suns fighting around Tim Duncan. Little pork chop right in the bank shot in game one. He's really pumped up tonight because he got that rookie
point lead. Marbury up top for the jump shot. No go. Duncan with a rebound. This is Marion. Duncan with another rebound. Are you counting? 15 now and 20.
The NBA. When that ball's in the air, they go back and get it. They don't wait for it to come. Nice pass.
Ginobili with a
and Speedy Claxton.
Parker off the pick. Williams slow to get there. But Tony missed it. Duncan tipped.
Tim Duncan will do is share the basketball, so he gets just a half a body to see around and finds Ginobili right at the rim. So the Phoenix Suns defense, which is the heart of what they do, has broken down. They can't give the...
Duncan with a look to Smith. Oh, he made a great stride between two defenders and the shot. Steve Smith set out high on the left side, the veteran from Michigan State. Drops it low to Duncan, double to Parker for three. Got it! Reeve up top, Marbury for the long stroke. Moscow to follow. Duncan with 18 rebounds. Down, right across the chops. Now get the ball, dives in deep. Tried to force it up.
Broken last year, but he's always found a way to keep the team competitive. Duncan.
Pivots away, the floater's up and off. There's Duncan again. Lead for San Antonio. Hardaway down the right side. The pull-up jump shot off the mark. Duncan 21 rebounds. Great outlet pass up the floor to Steven Jackson. And get it up in the paint. Moscow challenged by Duncan and the ball tipped Hardaway. Blocked by Duncan. Blocked by Duncan. Wrestled free and
for teams to get easy inside stuff. Duncan holding long arms gets the first. Joe Johnson said, "Give me another chance." He said, "I won't let you have it."
Duncan now at the line. He has garnered 21 rebounds. Steven Jackson, I think, has been a great story in his first playoff series. From Oak Hill Academy, originally drafted by this defense that we've grown accustomed to, just shutting folks down.
Well, what they've done, though, is they've shared the basketball, and they've been getting it too. Duncan again.
So with 20 points tonight, is hit on 8 of 13, and the Spurs are doing a terrific job. Joe Johnson for the jump shot, no go. Joe Johnson is, and that'll do it. Hardaway shot rimming off. Willis
finds Duncan. Moving side on Scott, as many as 7. Duncan against Scott Williams.
And for Penny to make a big outside shot early, that's going to build his confidence.
Tony Parker hits again. Jackson. Duncan's got a couple fouls on him. Robinson's on the bench so far. Nice feat by Co-Outlaw, but knocked away by...
Right here you see Tim Duncan. I mean, he comes back, he takes his time on the dribble, he's attacked, but he still drops it over the top softly. Great vision in seeing. Right here, you see Bo Outlaw coming through. Tim Duncan just reaches off, stands off of him, and
wasn't even there and laid it in.
It's unbelievable, too, because he's going in.
Tim Duncan with a nice turn. Each team has turned it over 5 times in this second quarter. It's Duncan over Boston. Penny Hardaway with 3 apiece for the Phoenix Suns.
Well, they better get back to double team him because he's going to foul out the whole Phoenix Suns team before this is over. They're not doing this good to leave it 1-on-1 down there.
It actually shows
with their league high 60 wins. Leading this series 2 games to 1. Duncan plowing down the basement in the game at 26. Duncan.
Ankle surgeries, really worked on hard on his game. The playoffs, it felt like the whole world had been lifted off his shoulders.
He's a good kid.
Russell played. That was the most action I got.
All right, well, you're going to get all kinds of things. Here's Moscow against Duncan. That's a tough man. By 9, and here comes Marbury right down the lane, knocked away.
Maybe he gets pushed out of bounds.
Duncan. Into Duncan. Counted in a foul.
Fire out.
Look how effortless that was.
So smooth. Oh. So smooth. To get the shot, and Tim Duncan will be wide open also.
It's Duncan for the tie, and Phoenix has won.
About the penetrating ability of Tony Parker. Duncan with the step, gives it up. Robinson with the first by Fisher. Tony Parker for Tim Duncan. Guarded by Robert Ory and Duncan.
Steven Jackson able to turn it from the 0 for 6 in game 1. Duncan, Shaq can't
do it that time. There he goes. You know he's going to touch the ball this time. There would have been a timeout, that tongue lashing.
Double team on Duncan. Parker trying to get it right back to him. Here's Duncan's jump hook.
Away, and the Spurs have a 4-2 lead. Once again, a very tough assignment for Robert Ory. He saw Bryant.
We are just underway. 2.5 minutes gone by. Duncan going blast.
It had that feel. Duncan.
I think that, and I'd like to get out of the way if I was those two guys right now.
Well, there's no question that Shaq is using that as Duncan comes.
His two big men were going to come up with it. He just took his body off of Bowen just for a second, enough for Bowen to sneak in there and get it.
Now Duncan able to get inside.
We have come to become accustomed with the fact that he's made so many big shots, huge shots. You just don't believe he's going to keep missing.
Bowen for 3.
Here's Duncan again against Ory. And the dish underneath to Robinson.
More so in games up to 3 and 4 than they did in 1 and 2. They felt it gave much more room to run their splits and their cuts. And also to
Kevin Willis guarding him.
They throw it into him. He hands it back to Devin George. Nice reverse layup. He didn't finish. And Duncan with a rebound.
Showing to passing the ball into Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, he didn't show up. It doesn't. He's not going to watch the game or have any input.
Those shots. Here's Duncan facing the basket for the first time. Ory trying to stay with him. He goes right around it.
What? Tim Duncan just schooling one of the great defensive players of this era, Robert Ory. Just two.
What a huge psychological lift winning game 1 would be for the Spurs. Duncan.
Instrumental in Shaq's mobility tonight.
Duncan finds the handle and scores.
Eat the basket. Wait. Oh, you're not coming? Okay. How about that in your mouth?
I'm not sure what they're going to do, but they make things happen that are good for the team. It takes them out of that predictability.
And San Antonio in the midst of an 11-2 run. Here's Devin George rejected by Duncan.
Guard the ball better one-on-one.
Duncan with a nice move.
What's he do? He drop step, spins baseline, and goes right around. Some fancy footwork. Lamasol.
He missed 12 of 13 shots. The Lakers have hit 9 for 13 here at the start. Duncan getting position. And
One of the iron, but Willis keeps it alive.
This is the guy.
Nice. Duncan leaves it for Willis.
Ory shoots the 3. Backs up the Spurs. Duncan handling very smoothly.
Duncan the give to Parker.
Beautiful passing.
Guarding Tim Duncan, he was on road, so perhaps he was a little too lackadaisical and standing right behind him.
Parker on the run. Lakers get back. Parker takes all the way.
It was as beautiful a day as you could possibly imagine here in the Southland today. And a Laker playoff game in the afternoon. What could be better? Nothing.
5 on the shot clock for Duncan on the baseline.
Duncan played by Maxson as this second quarter gets underway, and a foul is called.
Here at the end, literally, for him. And kind of sad to see him have to go up against Shaq right now.
Now it's Duncan outside.
1-point lead, 8 points for Bryant. Duncan is fouled.
Roll that way, oftentimes the official will call it because he feels you're rolling into the defender.
Duncan has come up late, and Curry for 3. Rebounded by Duncan and puts it home.
Minute and a half remaining in the quarter. Ginobili goes right back into Duncan. Spinning on the baseline, and he ties it.
Over harass me all night. You may think you're in another room alone, but when you look up, I'll be in your face.
It's kind of like one of those earlier games when he only shoots 12 times. He's got to shoot more than that, doesn't he?
I agree.
Well, there's the fifth attempt.
Now the backcourt with Manu Ginobili. Mark Matson defending on Tim Duncan. Here's an open shot for Ginobili. Yes.
4 shots here. I'd come right back to Duncan.
There it is. He'll go up and over Ori.
1-point lead, 8 points for Bryant. Duncan is fouled.
League Rose. Ginobili to Duncan. And Tim Duncan.
Braxton reversing himself. Trying to put it high off the glass. Duncan on the follow, yes.
Signal with the hand. Rush didn't understand. He didn't mean to shoot it yourself. He meant throw it up. I'm thinking to everybody else that was back in transition.
Here's Ford for 3. Yes.
Boy, if Shaq comes up, he's going to put it on the floor and try and go by him.
And here is Shaq, rejected by Duncan.
Dribbling finally gets it down to Duncan with 10 on the shot clock. Working against Madsen. Got the shot.
And like Garnett in the previous series for Minnesota against the Lakers, continues to play back.
This group has played well. Braxton try to go back door. Duncan, yes. Murray, Spurs now lead 54-34. Jackson with the step. Rebound, Duncan.
Back in. Kicks it out to Parker for 3, and Tony Parker inside to Duncan.
How hard a cut's going to be for the Spurs perimeter players.
And Duncan throws it up.
Duncan's space is going to constrict even more.
Now Duncan getting position.
They've hit their last 7 shots now. Tim Duncan with the offensive rebound and puts it back.
For extra exposure. Robinson, yes.
Trying to figure out which way Kobe's going. Kobe has to use those space to clear enough space. Nice goal.
Should have counted. And now Bryant fires for 3.
Is laboring out there. He's hobbling. Here's Ori for 3. Cannot get
out of field goal. Here's Duncan again with Shaq on him this time.
David Robinson and Bruce Bowen up front. You see Duncan feeling for Ori. Fisher cheating over, and Duncan is able to hit.
Around the perimeter. 6.5 to go in the half. Duncan with 5 on the shot clock. Working against Ori. The one-hander. Tom said a long time ago if they were going to get there, it'd be their toughest test.
This has been a very difficult matchup for Robert Ori. Tim
Medvedenko over Duncan. Duncan got the rebound, and he'll lead the break. Look at this.
Give it up.
Look out, look out. Got it to Rose, and Rose got the bucket.
Duncan, another beautiful Ginobili. The tip by Duncan.
Antonio in possession as this third quarter gets underway. Duncan, yes. Game 6 at Staples in LA on Thursday night. Duncan, yes.
Sure was. And now a block shot by Duncan. 4.
Spurs basically wasted that first half with the collapse. Parker
Out to Duncan. He'll try it again. Got it.
Spurs now lead 68-47. Duncan, wild shot.
The double team. Fisher gets in there, but a little bit too late. He steps through. Then you see him shoot it from his hip area and banks it off the glass.
Duncan, yes, the players because of their injuries. So I'm not sure it's Kobe Bryant who's at fault right now. Duncan sets it up for Robinson, who's surprisingly well despite that ankle sprain. Duncan, yes.
Have the momentum. San Antonio's 16-point lead in the second quarter is down to 4. Parker from the outside, and he got it.
Duncan, yes.
Takes a lot of work, and if your heart's not into it, it's time to move on.
And the Lakers are understanding that right now. Pete, thanks a lot.
And his shooting has been way off. Now 10 for 25. Duncan playing the look away from Parker. So, okay. Are going to the thesaurus these days. Here is Parker. Yes. And Bowen has been a major part of that equation. Not a factor here tonight.
Got it.
Well, let's see when they come with a double team, and if they do, Tony Parker will be open for a jump shot. No double team.
Ori.
Superb shooting by San Antonio continues. They're at 53% for the game.
Ori's out of the game. Get it to your money guy.
There he is.
But they're not moving away from the ball.
Now someone's got to cut.
Over O'Neal, in and out. Duncan puts it.
He extends the San Antonio lead to 11. Ori gets it down low to Matson. He's rejected by Duncan.
Still having Kevin Willis on the bench and Danny Ferry. Obviously, Willis is the better choice against Shaq.
Now Shaq working on Duncan.
Bad pass.
Duncan against O'Neal. Samaki Walker comes over to help him. Remaining in the third quarter. Tim Duncan leads the way with 20 for San Antonio.
Beat the buzzer. 6-0 run by the Lakers on the 2 3-pointers by Bryant to end the third quarter.
They can't get too stubborn here and just stand around and watch Duncan go. You got to help him out.
That is a move.
Be fair to him.
Claxton is open. Yes. Was tipped to the backcourt by Bowen. Shot clock running down. Bryant blocked. Duncan takes. Here's Bowen. Bruce Bowen on the breakaway.
Toll on the team. Bryant finding O'Neal. Good job by Duncan.
There is 5 left, third quarter. Duncan at the free throw line with 9 on the shot clock. Samaki Walker trying to guard him. That didn't work either.
Western Conference semifinal series. Spurs looking to hold on for a 3-2 lead. Game 6 back in LA on
For Phil Jackson's team when they need him.
He has been playing 4 minutes since the injury suffered by Fox.
As the other players, you got to stay involved and not just be caught standing around watching Jim.
Duncan
having to go one-on-one virtually every time. No movement without the ball.
One of the memorable moments in New York Knicks history is Tim Duncan.
George not supposed to play. Did not come out humbling. Should be pointed out. Here's Duncan getting inside.
Ends up with it with Walker on him. Last time he scored right over Walker's defense. This time he draws.
And Bowen, Ginobili, and Claxton in the backcourt. Here's Duncan around.
Sweeping of their own. Ferry and Duncan playing catch, and now it's Duncan baseline. What a shot.
Ginobili knocked it away from Bryant. Here's Bowen.
Lakers up by 12. Coming up on 4 remaining in the third. Duncan is fouled by Ori. While going back to
Duncan with Samaki Walker on it. And off the glass.
We have seen Greg Popovich do a lot of shuffling between Parker and Claxton. Duncan off the nice
free throws. Those have been their bugaboos, giving up fourth-quarter leads.
Can tell no one was hurt. Here's Duncan going at Shaq.
Lakers with a 12-point lead. Duncan puts it down.
He needs the rest of his guys to lock in on defense, secure a rebound, and give him a chance to knock it.
Duncan has taken Walker to work on a couple of occasions here, spinning off.
Pressure releases, get somebody in that high post area. When the wing is being overplayed, hit the high post, run it back door with the wing.
Poetic justice then maybe that the Spurs get it back. And Duncan, blocked by Ori, got it back and scored.
Shaw gets it up and makes a huge shot.
Ryan Shaw hitting that 33-foot shot at the end of the third quarter the other night.
Duncan giving it off to Ginobili, right back to Duncan. Blocked by O'Neal, no foul there. Duncan will try it again and got it.
The clock. Down to 6 on the 24 and
has come on strong in the second half. The lead for Robinson.
Tim Duncan faces Robert Ori. The kick out to Jackson for 3. Oh, what a big shot.
Timeout mark. They run a set play, drawn up by the coach. Step in, reverse, throw the lob pass.
Shaw for 3. Ginobili.
Huge edge in rebounding, shooting great as they have the whole game. Duncan to Parker.
You look right there with him on the floor and without him on the floor. And that's what MVPs are made of.
More involving a different combination of people all the time. You've got to figure out a way how you want to play it, and it can't be a steady diet.
nice play as Parker sets it up for Duncan. Regular season, same record as Dallas. Here's Duncan. Prodigal glass and able to hit on the putback. And Tim Duncan has had his difficulties at the line during the season.
What he wants to do is have a huge free throw discrepancy at the end of the game. They should want to get to the free throw line plus 30.
Off, got glass, and here's it from the crowd. Game is tied at 11. We played 4 minutes. Pretty feed by Jackson, and Duncan with 8 points here at the start. That was action being played by Ranetzo. Try to lead Robinson. It actually deflected off. Well, the Spurs very fortunate.
Duncan was at the top of the circle running pick and roll. Now immediately they go right back in the hole. And this is where I feel he should be if the Vince is going to play him. Time for fouls on Dirk.
Tim Duncan with 10 points. Ginobili has checked in, as has Malik Rose. Don Nelson telling us he's particularly concerned about the combination of Tim Duncan and Malik Rose. Parker for 3. Tony Parker with 5 points. Ginobili is played by Nowitzki. The double team on Duncan. Ginobili shoots for 3.
What happens wants to make sure he gets a high percentage shot this time down.
Well, Nash's shot blocked by Duncan.
Both these teams have tremendous depth, but when Ginobili comes in the game, not only can he beat you off the dribble, but he has the ability to make big three-point shots for this thing.
Well-ball run for San Antonio. Here's Duncan. Beautiful turnaround.
The problem with the zone defense, if you get the wrong matchup on the initial catch and aren't there to double right away, Duncan's going to...
Only 19 a game of the 4 regular season contests against for Dirk. 3 of 4 from the floor. Spurs 34, Mavericks 21. Duncan, once again, getting inside. He has 16 points.
Going to force the ball into his hands, matched up against Dirk Nowitzki. He drives baseline, tries to put a foul on the big man. Then in the lane, he seals Nowitzki on his back, and then it's a matter of just laying it in. A nice catch, and then unselfish play to his teammate, David Robinson. Talk about unselfish again versus the double team. Ginobili catches the assist from...
And now Naharov taking a shot at defending Duncan. And catch, and the foul!
He concentrates on what he has to get done. You see him again, step through, brings the ball down low, and then elevates it high at the last second, and has the beautiful touch at the end and gets the roll. Now he tries to complete the three-point play.
And he does a great job of semi-exposing the ball with his arm so
he could throw the ball on a regular basis to Robinson versus Nowitzki and get some scores out of it.
Nowitzki passed on the 3, trying to dump it off. Duncan on the intercept.
But with Bradley on the floor, they match Bradley up against him. Bradley plays behind him, and you saw just then what happened.
In the half. Now Harrod trying to defend on Duncan. Tim Duncan backs it home.
Nash figured he had an open jumper. Nash is heading in to pass the offensive boards.
Hawker accelerates, dumps it off to Duncan.
Lane to protect a little bit sooner that time.
Nowitzki has 16 to lead Dallas. Here's Bowen for 3. Yes! Well, he can hit from downtown. He led the NBA in three-point shooting at 44%. Here's Nash right back for 3. The line. Remaining in this first half, Robinson with 6 points.
Bradley is starting because they felt that he was more effective during the regular season against San Antonio. Mark?
All right, thanks, Cheryl. Here's Duncan. So the flow with it every so often. Dunk clock to 6. Hawker, yes.
2 hard dribbles to his left. Duncan had to retreat. Nowitzki had space to knock it in.
Nowitzki tried to keep it away, and it's a goaltend.
That was questioning who tapped the ball while it was up there. You see Bradley get it. Bradley's poised back on the defensive end without fouling, and out of the double team of Duncan, they've got to get a good balance between shooting it and driving the ball to the rim.
It counts, and the foul. What a pass from Duncan to slip it to Willis.
Handle in traffic, but somehow Duncan sees the opening. Willis is able to find the handle, and while he's being fouled, catch it and finish it. That's a very
funny when he said, we're still great friends, but I'll never do a deal with him because he always tries to fleece the other guy. So that was a funny exchange today.
And Parker extends to the 85. 8-point San Antonio lead. Ginobili having Claxton on a hop, but he threw it back out, and then Duncan able to knock it down, leading to a Dallas timeout.
I love that Greg Popovich did not downsize his team when Don Nelson went small with Walt Williams at the 4. Keep Willis on the floor and stay big.
What a pass from Ginobili to set it up for the cutting Duncan. Kevin Willis.
There's the screen. Ginobili knows exactly where the big man's supposed to be. Puts the ball right there. Good hands. Good finish by Duncan.
The line. First 3 throws of this second half. Conference final 1995. Rockets beat the Spurs.
To a game. They had 46 attempts tonight.
team that does not go to the line frequently, but when they do, they hit their shots. Here's Duncan, yes. Primarily doing it at the line where he's 7 of 8. The NBA draft, well, you can catch the draft lottery Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern time on ABC. Then following the lottery, log on to NBA.com or plan for. There's Jackson and Parker out deep. Fires it off the rim, and it is tipped, but Nash is able to get to it. In a stunner, the Dallas Mavericks come from an 18-point deficit to defeat the San Antonio Spurs and take Game 1 of this Western Conference Final. Underway, Ginobili puts the move on Bell. Rebounded by Duncan. Tim Duncan.
Cancer surgery. He had a 13-8 record. Then last year he was 2-0 when he took over as head coach. The pass underneath to Speedy for the layup.
Duncan, yes, and the foul.
They get the second shot opportunity because Duncan got the offensive rebound. Here, as he flashes into the open area, you see Bell hit him on his left forearm as he's going up for the jump shot. He knows basket's good, and he gets another.
A very animated Tim Duncan. Coming off the 40 points in Game 1 as 19.
Dallas' zone has had effect on San Antonio.
Duncan is fouled. Basket will not count. Duncan then drawing.
They're trying to figure out where the technical foul came from. It must have happened just
has many creative thoughts on that subject. Here's Duncan.
Maybe criticizing Joey Crawford for ejecting Don Nelson in the first quarter of a playoff game, but I talked to Joey at half.
Understand that to a certain extent.
Well, the problem is, coaches haven't officiated and officials haven't coached, and neither one knows the dynamics and the pressures that the other one feels.
So he remains with 3. Here's Bowen for 3. As Duncan tried to establish position, he was pushed. Dallas over there.
They're enticed with the 3.
Duncan will go to the line. Ginobili with the line. Beautifully done. Manu Ginobili for Tim Duncan. Nowitzki playing with the 4 fouls. Duncan goes at him and scores. The 3-point shooting. A 14-4 run by Dallas. They've hit 11 of 27 from downtown. Malik Rose sitting down after picking up his hit. Tim Duncan. Shot clock to 5. Duncan looking to tie the series at 1. Nowitzki shot blocked by Duncan. 2:40 remaining on the 4th. Ginobili with 1 on the shot clock. Shot clock down to 5. Duncan has that beautiful quick release.
Believes his team has to double team quicker, be more decisive to get the ball out of Duncan's hands.
Nice pass from Parker. Robinson shot blocked, but Duncan is right there. So the Spurs off to a 7-2 lead.
Little 2-man game. Parker whipping the ball right back to Robinson. Initial rejection, followed by Tim Duncan.
Oh, the old whip pass.
3 of this Western Conference Final Series. LeBron's blocked by Duncan.
Somebody else.
It has been.
It's only you and me here, guy.
Duncan able to recover.
But Bob Delaney told Bell in no uncertain terms on the way back, that'll be his last complaint.
Duncan, yes. Nowitzki backing his way on Malik Rose, who just came on. He thought that he was fouled. 12 from the field. Here's Jackson for three. Yes, Steven Jackson from straight away.
But truly, Marvin, I know contrary to reports, but I've only spoken to Cleveland about 9 days ago as Robinson stopped a good play. Keep it going.
Jeff calling for the double.
Wants a double foul now. Now it's okay.
All right, Parker on the steal. Parker whipping by Nash.
No fouls called in game 1. 48 fouls in game 2.
15 minutes. Took only one shot. As they were very... Duncan off single coverage. He had just Nahara defending against him. Nash trying to find a screen, then leads LaFrench. Duncan with the block. Here comes Parker. If Dallas gets back, the teardrop attempted over Nowitzki, and then a foul.
Off the initial miss and get fouled.
Reminder tomorrow on ESPN, it's game 4, the Pistons and the Nets. The box out. This game has had a terrific flow to it. Parker, Duncan, and the reason there has been a good flow.
I'm building my whole 4th of July around that. I think the guy's name's Ricky Roddick or something.
They go for the mismatch. Robinson over to help. Finley gets inside. Rejected by Duncan. That's 4 block shots for Tim Duncan.
San Antonio has switched their pick and roll defense. They're going to more switching of the pick and roll to keep everyone covered.
Parker doing it from inside off the dribble, doing it from outside. And
that's the switch that puts Parker on Nowitzki. 7 foot versus 6'1". Too much of a height differential.
Duncan able to go glass, and the Spurs lead by 1.
Players use the glass. It's so exciting in this game, and they turn in and use the bank shot, as Tim Duncan does so well.
Shot was deflected. Ginobili passed on the 3. A bullet pass for Duncan. It counts, and the foul.
Defense blocking it and securing the rebound, and then they come right back and find the big man in the low post there to finish, and now the foul line opportunity.
And what Ginobili did right there was not settle for the 3. He took it to the basket, drew the next defender, and then found Duncan for the 3-point play.
Thus far tonight, San Antonio leads by 6. Nowitzki rejected by Duncan. That's 5 block shots.
Didn't see Tim Duncan coming. Every time he posts up Parker, either Duncan or Robinson are coming over right away to help out. Game 2 only played 8 minutes in the first half, Jeff.
Beautiful pass from Rose. Malik Rose on the back door to Tim Duncan. You mentioned earlier, Czar has been an excellent road team. 27 and 14 on the road. They won 18 of the last 20. Tony Parker extends to a 10-point lead.
While the rodeo is in, we'll see Tim Duncan down low being guarded by LaFrench. A beautiful pass. They attacked the zone perfectly to get a high percentage shot. Then a little pass and move without the ball. Outside handoff. Easy layup for Tony Parker.
Nowitzki is down. Dallas going 4 on 5. Duncan with yet another block shot. Nowitzki is still down. This is shades of the Malik Rose Eduardo Nahara incident in game 1. Tim Duncan scores and is fouled.
That could be a hyperextension right there. And then short-handed, they find Duncan in the middle. Duncan converts, is fouled. They're working on Nowitzki under the basket. Rest of the game, just
Did he do that again?
The punching and shoving, all that.
By the way, against the Kings in Sacramento to start the second round, and the Kings won both games here in Dallas as Ginobili was able to score. At the line, Walt Williams comes on for Dallas for the first time tonight. John Nelson looking for some more offense, so Duncan
to get them to take higher percentage shots.
And one of the reasons they are most likely to hang on, even...
Good job by David Robinson. Here's Parker on the open floor. Parker, Duncan with the rebound.
back out at him, take time off the clock, get the ball to the guy we want to start the offense.
Duncan with the rebounds. It's very easy here for Tim Duncan. There's no size on the floor for the Mavericks.
Get up there. Watch how Duncan extends his arms, goes up in the crowd, misses the first shot. He just goes up above everyone, secures it, and finishes it.
Correction on that last foul was Tim Duncan. The injury status of Dirk Nowitzki. Nice pass. Duncan for Rose. Malik Rose on the backdoor. 96-76 San Antonio. Dallas gives it right back.
What an advantage when you can look over the top of the defense, see your teammates cutting, and then have the skills to make a bounce pass for two.
4 points. Take a look at the last 4 games, 37 in Game 6 against the Lakers, equaled a playoff career high with 40. Game 2 Wednesday night, 32. Tonight, 34. So he has tied George Gervin, equaling a franchise record with 30-plus in 4 consecutive postseason games. We mentioned earlier, Gervin did it back in 1978 in the Eastern Conference semis against Washington. The Spurs 96 and the Mavericks 83.
Out there.
And
out here.
Dirk Nowitzki
right out here. Out here.
Being taken to the hospital, being carted out of the arena, and they will check him out. And we might have further word
That they win one here.
A look at MVP Tim Duncan, who is off to a terrific start in this series. The starting lineups for the Spurs: Duncan and Bowen up front, David Robinson the center. Steven Jackson was a question mark, as Craig Sager reported earlier. He is in the lineup, despite the flu. Tony Parker at the other guard. Mavericks with Rafe LaFrentz remaining as the starter. Michael Finley, Dirk Nowitzki at the forwards, Roger Bell, and Steve Nash are in the backcourt. Shot clock down to 5. Duncan has that beautiful quick release.
Very similar to
Shot selection greatly improved here by San Antonio at the start. Duncan forced down. And Duncan, both clubs cooling off considerably after good starts. Dallas started out 5 for 10. They've hit 3 of the last 13 now. San Antonio 0 for their last 7 after opening up 7 of 12 from the field. Here's Jackson for 3. Yes! Steven Jackson.
Contrary to reports, but I've only spoken to Cleveland about 9 days ago.
There's the double on Duncan, squeezing his way through. And he's on.
There were 72 personal fouls called in Game 1, 48 fouls in Game 2.
15 minutes, took only 1 shot. Duncan off single coverage. He had just trying to find a screen that leads LaFrentz. Duncan with the and Dallas gets back. The teardrop attempted over Nowitzki, and then a foul. I'll get fouled. Tomorrow on ESPN, it's Game 4. The Pistons and the Nets. Nets lead that. Parker, Duncan, and the defense has been very strong all night long. Duncan is...
I'm building my whole 4th of July around that. I think the guy's name's Ricky Roddick or something.
Robinson over to help. Finley gets inside. Rejected by Duncan.
More switching of the pick and roll to keep everyone covered.
Parker, still on. Spurs by 1.
On Nowitzki, 7 foot versus 6'1". Too much of a height differential.
Rebounded by Duncan. Deflected. Ginobili passed on the 3. A bullet pass for Duncan. It counts. And the foul.
Settle for the 3. He took it to the basket, drew the next defender, and then found Duncan.
San Antonio leads by 6.
Nowitzki rejected by Duncan.
See Tim Duncan coming. Every time he posts up Parker, either Duncan or Robinson are coming over right away to help out.
Here's Van Exel. Beautiful pass from Rose. Malik Rose on the back door. Does it count? Okay. Nowitzki. Rebounded by Duncan. Is down. Dallas going 4-on-5. Duncan with, this is shades of the Malik Rose Eduardo Nahara incident in game 1. Tim Duncan scores and is fouled.
Right there. And then short-handed, they find Duncan in the middle. Duncan converts, is fouled. They're working on Nowitzki under the basket. A touch during the course of the game. Just so you know.
Would you do that again?
For punching and shoving, all that.
That'll start the second round, and the Kings won both games here in Dallas as Ginobili is able to. But now Dallas is without their star player, Dirk Nowitzki.
They're one of the lowest teams in the league, number 26 in the league as far as number of free throw attempts that they shoot.
Walt Williams comes on for Dallas for the first time tonight. Now Nelson looking for some more offense, so Duncan does hit one of Nahara and Finley up front. Finley tries the three. Duncan with the rebound and put a poke in the face from Williams.
Take higher percentage shots.
And one of the reasons they are most likely to hang on, even when they're struggling with the turnovers or the free throw.
Robinson. Here's Parker on the open floor. Parker. Duncan with the rebound.
Can run back out at him, take time off the clock, get the ball to the guy we want to start the offense.
Duncan with the rebounds. Been very easy here for Tim.
That's how Duncan extends his arms, goes up in the crowd, misses the first shot. He just goes up above everyone, secures it, and finishes it.
Correction on that last foul was Tim Duncan. Ginobili. Oh, he is one. As LaFrance came toppling over Ginobili.
A beautiful pass. Duncan sees Ginobili cutting to the basket. LaFrance hits him with his body while he's up in the air. Not much you can do when you're up in the air and a guy is underneath you as you come down.
Free status of Dirk Nowitzki. Nice pass. Duncan for Rose. Malik Rose, the 6th San Antonio.
Down. Look over the top of the defense, see your teammates cutting, and then have the skills to make a bounce pass for 2.
Well, until we talked at halftime, talked to your coaching staff, they said we have to get better shots for Tim Duncan. They were double and triple teaming you. What was the difference in the third quarter?
Just started to attack a little quicker. They kind of changed up early in the game, start coming with a double team, and I kind of backed off a little bit, trying to move the ball around, not take bad shots. But second half, I was a little more aggressive earlier because the double team was a little bit late coming, and just kind of pushed it at him.
Tony Parker kind of changed things around with that 19-point quarter. What does he mean to you guys?
He took over for a whole quarter there. Jack took over for about 5 minutes. He took over for about a quarter. Those guys were great tonight, all over the court.
A lot of people talked about you losing game 1, losing home court advantage. What does this mean by taking it back?
Regain home court. Now we got to come in here on Sunday and try to take that away from them. It sucks that Dirk went down tonight. You hate to see guys get injured. You want to come in here and play a game all the way through. Everybody stay healthy. But that's kind of how the game goes.
All right, great game. Mark.
Thank you, Craig. Tony. Here's Ginobili. The reverse stuff by Manu Ginobili. Bowen for 3. A loose ball foul. Derek Stafford makes the call. It's on Nash. 4 on the shot clock. Down to 1. And Duncan is able to hit and draws the foul.
Duncan swings in. The clock is run down. He's got to get the shot off. You can see right there the reach in. He was hit on the left arm as he shot the jump shot.
That's an excellent call. It's a very foolish foul by Bell. He should have gone up and contested it.
Craig, I spoke to Dirk Nowitzki, and he said that his teammates played extremely well in the first half. He thought that the ball movement in the half-court offense was outstanding. Defensively, he felt that his team did a great job on Tim Duncan.
Here's the double on Duncan. He finds Jackson.
Duncan, if your defensive man turns his head to go help on Duncan by moving without the ball, 2 quick baskets for Jackson.
Parker from Duncan. So Dallas matches his biggest lead of the night. We've played 5 minutes of the third. Here's Parker for 3. It goes back on the floor, replacing David Robinson. Here's the double on Duncan, and he's still able to hit. What a tough angle shot off glass. His headband in the process. Parker, yes.
That's the look right there as he pulls the arm down.
Nash sits down along with LaFrance. Duncan. Duncan on the follow. And Duncan converting. 16 now for Duncan after the slow start. Van Exel just firing it up, able to get to the rebound. Rose is on it. All have come here in the third. Finley had it deflected. They double up on Duncan. Now single coverage, and Duncan able to score over LaFrance.
Beautiful offense against the zone.
Out of 6 on the 24. Duncan and LaFrance got a piece of that shot.
Couple steps on the floor and a suspension. It should not be a suspension. The league needs to use common sense. David Robinson, as Duncan was fouled, was doing nothing to exasperate.
In this best of 7, taking it back to San Antonio for game number 5 on Tuesday. Here's Bell. Duncan got a piece of it.
Unnecessary fouls.
This is a team with 9 available players. Robinson gets inside. Spurs with the ball. They lead by 2. Here's the alley-oop for Duncan. Coming up on 5 minutes remaining in the first. Manu Ginobili will check in a moment. Jackson, yes, in this first quarter. Malik Rose up front now with Tim Duncan and Bruce Bowen, and the foul as Roger Bell came over to help out.
Than people think he is, maybe even than he thinks he is.
Here's Duncan, nice move, and Bowen up front. Nice pass, Duncan for Rose on a backdoor once again.
Because Van Exel got caught on top of Rose trying to front him.
Here's Ginobili from downtown. And Duncan is fouled.
One of the concerns of Don Nelson is keeping a body on Duncan. He's so long and so much bigger than most of the other players on the floor. Look how he extends those arms. He keeps it up high, and then the foul takes place. They have to keep a body on him so he cannot get close enough to outreach and outjump the other people. You have to box him out deep. Keep him away from that rim.
Foul committed by LaFrance. His first. Mobley, along with Jackson in a 3-guard set. Duncan from Rose.
As competitive as possible.
Mobley gets it right back to Duncan.
It wasn't necessary to do that.
16-point San Antonio lead. A high total of assists. Parker gets in. It counts. It's a goaltend on Walt Williams.
They do a great job.
61-49. San Antonio looking to close out this series. They do not want to go back to Dallas for a game 6. Duncan, the Spurs now lead at 63-49.
We were in meetings.
Jeff had his own meetings with a couple of teams. And Duncan puts it down.
And Finley has played very well the entire series. He's been consistent except in game 3 where he didn't play particularly well. But the other games he's been outstanding.
San Antonio's led by as many as 19, and Dallas has it down to 11. Duncan is fouled. Nahara and Van Exel.
That's why you saw Greg Popovich react the way he did to Robinson's pass. He felt there was some carelessness there. Didn't pay attention to detail on inbounding the ball. He's trying to shake the team up because he senses that Dallas is hanging around now.
You'd be seeing Hackett Duncan right now struggling from the free throw line.
Duncan getting position. Duncan.
And Nelson substituted for him more often and more frequently, and now he has more energy to finish the game.
Duncan is fouled, so he will go back to the line where he has struggled, only 4 of 10 at the line. On Thursday, 6 minutes remaining in the fourth. San Antonio 0 for 8 from the field in this fourth quarter. Robinson saves the pass. Duncan stops.
And he starts at 1 forward, 7 foot from Wake Forest University. 21, Tim Duncan.
5 on the shot clock. Jackson, not a good shot. Here comes Jason Kidd in a hurry. Martin around Duncan. Duncan got a hand on it.
The league's best defense here. New Jersey's best percentage shooter is Lucius Harris at 42%.
Here's Jackson, who took a terrible shot last time. That's a better assist. And Tim Duncan out of the timeout, a chance for a three-point play.
Well, that's what Steven Jackson, and he's been doing it all year long, has given them. Maybe not as good as Sean Elliott, who was here a few years ago, but he gives them that guy who can penetrate, draw the defense, and just dump it off for the easy finish. Well, Martin's doing a nice job of fighting Tim Duncan. Oh, good
Barry Kittles, nice defense. And look at the pass, trying to spin it ahead to Kenyon Martin. Wow. Kelly Parker short-armed that one with a couple of big guys in front of him. Neither jumped in the way of the shot.
What a pass.
Kittles, baseline, blocked by Duncan. He'll take it after he got it back. And here comes Duncan with a rebound.
Look at him go.
The 7-footer dribbling up court himself.
We're talking the level of Magic Johnson, Pete Maravich, Walt Frazier, Jerry West here.
Rose up over Williams. Tough shot.
Has San Antonio made a perimeter shot?
Don't remember one.
I don't know if they've taken more than 2 perimeter shots. They've been either getting to the rim and finishing or getting to the rim and getting stripped. It's a tough matchup right here for Steven Jackson.
Harris blocked by Duncan.
Duncan always keeps the ball in play with his block.
That's his 3rd block shot already in the first quarter, fellas.
San Antonio leads the NBA every year in block shots per game. They did it again this year. Absolutely fabulous against Detroit, Johnson.
Tim Duncan puts it in, and again a chance to add one. Williams has 2 now, as does Martin. Four Nets now with 2 fouls each. Martin, Collins, Williams, and Rogers. Those are the big guys.
A broken play for San Antonio going to the hoop. The patience on offense. And when you think about Tim Duncan, is there a better word to describe him than patient? A 6-time All-Star, 5-time All-Star in his 6-year NBA career. The only time he didn't make the All-Star game, they didn't play the game because of the lockout season.
Well, they might double team. Maybe one of those things where as soon as he touches it, Dikembe Mutombo, comes over and double teams.
There comes Johnson to double team. That leaves Claxton wide open, and he knocks down the jumper.
I maintain that you're better off having a great star like Duncan beat you with his own scoring as opposed to his passing, getting everybody else into their game.
Boy, because he does as well as any big guy.
Get into the paint, draw the defense, and then kick it out.
What does it come off of? Missed free throw.
Ginobili had Jefferson get on him in a hurry, and now takes about 3 steps with no traveling violation. His kid had a hand on it.
Kenyon Martin is everywhere.
Duncan off the glass.
An outstanding article in yesterday's New York Times by Mike Wise on the personal story of Bruce Bowen. If you haven't seen it, you've got to check this out. What a remarkable saga Bruce Bowen's life has been.
Another basketball vagabond. Kenyon Martin with a miss. Tim Duncan with a rebound.
Had to beg and plead, literally buy his way to get a college scholarship at Cal State Fullerton. And now he's starting in the NBA Finals for the favored team.
Kenyon Martin just picked up his 3rd foul. So just like that, Collins and Martin out of the blocks in less than a minute. Each have 3. That's horrible, as Bill would say. But Duncan rips it, and he's hit 3 of his last 4. Jason Collins, Kenyon Martin, each with 3 fouls here within the first 51 seconds of the third quarter. And Tim Duncan knocked them both down, so he's in double figures. And the lead for the Spurs swells to the biggest it's been tonight. The Nets now, going back to the end of the first half, have missed their last 6 shots. 7 now.
Well, the Spurs are doing a much better job of probing the paint area. They're getting into the paint, either kicking out or scoring at the rim. New Jersey settling for jump shots.
Let's see if Scott said his biggest concern was the size of the Spurs. New Jersey's in trouble. They need a timeout desperately.
The Spurs digging into the sides of the Nets. They're up 7. Martin gets set defensively. And Duncan gives it up. Parker will try a 3. Got it!
And now Byron Scott takes the timeout.
He's great. I think he's ready to go. I think he's excited about it. We were talking about it today. When we were in the finals, he was back in France up at 3 a.m. watching the games, and now he's here, and he's excited to be here, and he's ready to roll.
Jefferson will try it again. This one's too strong, and Duncan just one-hands the rebound.
New Jersey is playing and looking at the referees, waiting for a helping hand. This is the NBA Finals. You've got to take it yourself.
Parker on the pick and roll, back to Duncan. Duncan knocks it down outside. 12 points, 12 rebounds for the big fella.
You see what happens when you hit a couple shots. They respect you, they double team you, and leave the MVP wide open.
And it becomes infectious now for the Spurs. They're up double digits.
Of his career. Tim Duncan, though, who played against David Robinson when Tim Duncan was in college at Wake Forest, and David Robinson.
7 straight points now in the last minute and a half by the Nets to close that 10-point gap down to where we are, a 3-point lead. Duncan over Kenyon Martin. So that's a tough shot.
So complete, so perfect. I mean, 7 feet tall, facing up, dribbling away from the basket, nothing but net from 18 and fading. That would be the worst thing that would ever happen.
Duncan with Martin on his hip. Duncan, another tough shot. 8 this quarter, 16 for the game. He's got 16. He's had a sensational third quarter after a scoreless second quarter. Duncan with a steal, and now it's the Spurs looking to push it a little bit. Nets with their second field goal drought of over 3 minutes now in this third quarter. Kenyon Martin's jump hook's off the mark. There you see the field goal shooting this quarter has been all San Antonio. They stretch their lead to a dozen with 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Game 1 of the NBA Finals in San Antonio. Tim Duncan continuing to put on a third quarter show. Brad Nessler with Bill Walton, Tom Tolbert, Michelle Tafoya, Stuart Scott, Mike Tirico, Doc Rivers, Sean Elliott, Jim Gray, and Ahmad Rashad. I hope I didn't miss anybody.
Nice dribble handoff, Jason Collins.
Rogers doesn't get it. Duncan cleans the glass again. Great pass. Jackson, look at it. This is the largest deficit the Nets have faced in the playoffs. They're down 16.
You cannot play better basketball than Tim Duncan is doing right now. Everything. Intimidation, rebounds, outlets, scoring, leadership. What else is there?
Remember, we told you early in the quarter that dating back to the end of the second quarter, the Nets had a drought of over 4.5 minutes. That field goal by Rogers ended one of over 5. And before Duncan can get the jam, there's a foul. It's on Rodney Rogers, and he's got 3.
Tim Duncan forces the missed shot. And then the hardest thing for a big man is to turn and get the same rebound that he just forced. The over-the-top pass right on the mark, the throwdown. That is the MVP, the best player in the land, Tim Duncan. Popovich wisely brings Parker right back in.
Jackson with 4 on the shot clock. Duncan may have gotten away with a push for the offensive rebound, but he puts it right back in.
Give the MVP a little cushion there. They're doing a good job of making them play to their weaknesses.
Tim Duncan, and he's Duncan. He's got 25. Kenyon Martin's got to get back in this ball game, doesn't he?
You've got to come with a different defensive strategy.
Last basket.
You are not going to win the NBA championship by playing conservatively.
Last basket.
You are not going to win the NBA championship by playing conservatively. Right off the bench, both big guns, Duncan and Kenyon Martin, coming in with beautiful plays.
Duncan's got 27. Kenyon Martin has 19. It's Duncan's team with a big lead with just over 6 to go.
Let me look back at some point. Tim Duncan was only 2 for 3.
Yeah.
Now he has 27, 15, and 5.
And he just blocked another shot. But Collins rattles it off the glass.
Defensive presence for the Nets.
Kenyon Martin goes strong, had it blocked. Duncan 6th of the night. He dishes on the baseline to Jackson.
The NBA Finals record is 8 blocks. Duncan right there. And how many did Robinson have? 4 for David Robinson.
Oh, what a shot by Duncan.
Like I said, you can't play any single one move with Tim Duncan. Now, you can't be afraid to attack against it. If they're going to press you, they can pay.
Duncan, a great lead for Robinson, and David just points at him.
And that is the way to do it. Now, you can't be afraid to attack against it. If they're going to press you, they can pay.
Duncan, a great lead for Robinson, and David just points at him.
And that is the way to do it. 2 minutes left, still too much time to get conservative. If they're going to press you and you beat the press, you take it to them and take advantage of it and score the bucket.
But Harris runs into Collins around the pick. And Duncan blocks another shot at Kenyon Martin.
He's had his way, Stephen Jackson. Early on, he was getting to the hoop. Now he's hitting turnaround jumpers. He's got his confidence going.
Kenyon Martin trying to tip in, twice his own miss and can't. And then fouls Duncan over the back.
Oh, look at the bright spot. You got 3 offensive rebounds, 1 trip.
And Duncan got his 18th rebound and paid the price as he's still trying to clear the tears.
It's amazing the numbers that Duncan just puts up effortlessly.
Yeah.
Jason Kidd was badly outplayed by Tony Parker.
The Nets, remember, had 3 major second-half field goal droughts. And too much Tony Parker and too much Tim Duncan is going to be their undoing here in Game 1.
He has got that runner down pat.
Duncan's got a 20-rebound game again. Wow.
Oh, had Kittles on the back cut.
Barry Kittles has been very quiet offensively throughout the playoffs. And a turnover to start things off for New Jersey.
The league's best defense comes through once again. Greg Popovich's message to his squad. Respect the game, respect the opponent. Don't think this thing is over. New Jersey is a very good team coming into this series, having won 10 straight.
They play Duncan straight up. He takes it over Collins and got the roll.
That's almost unfair. He's 7 foot. Well, I guess that's why he's one of the greatest that ever played. You're able to put the ball on the ground, go for a jumper, and just do all the stuff that he does.
The challenge for New Jersey is to get it back in the other end.
Kittles, jumper. Duncan's got his hands on the rebound.
Well, I think one thing to look forward to tonight, or look at, is in the 3 games they played so far this year, New Jersey's at 72, 59, and 70 half-court wins. They need more than that.
Bowen, who's been shooting lights out during the playoffs from three-point land, makes it 5-0 San Antonio.
Glass, right in mind. The 2 best defensive big men in the game today.
Before he scored, the Nets had been empty on all 6 of their trips down court. Parker got it. Tony Parker.
Why don't you give the ball to Tim Duncan every single play?
Jackson, he'll take another outside jumper. This time Jefferson got a hand in his face. He missed it. Here comes Jason Kidd. Martin blocked by Duncan.
Oh, how about a little mayonnaise with that ball sandwich?
Unlike in game one, the two block shots that have come tonight, one from Robinson, one from Duncan, have both gone out of bounds. Not with anything that the two big guys have done wrong, just because of the nature of the shot attempts. The Spurs have 3 blocks on the evening.
Of the work defensively on Tim Duncan.
I like the way he handled himself in the post-game press conferences and the 48 hours ensuing after game one.
Malik Rose in the lineup for the Spurs as Duncan up and in. Kidd somehow got a pass to Harris. I don't know where that one came from.
A lot of time in the shot clock.
Collins inside, blocked by Duncan. This one blocked to Parker.
Tim Duncan in game one had 32 points on only 14 shots.
Here's Tim on the baseline, answering the call for us again. 6 minutes and change remaining second quarter. Let's see if Kidd's still hot. That one rolled around and out, and Duncan with a rebound. Claxton right back to Duncan. Good ball movement by the Spurs.
Nice.
Oh! Duncan trying to throw it over Mutombo. Dan Crawford, as Mutombo went over to him, said, please, Adekembe, back up.
Too much ball handling. The movement that was there early in the first quarter, they seem to come by the wayside.
Duncan, a little bit short, but got it back and made sure.
Not get called for. It's the finals. Come on.
You looked in from atop of the sold-out SBC Center as David Robinson goes inside.
But the story of David Robinson unable to produce a series of games go on is coming through once again tonight.
Duncan, there's some producing. Fourth down, TD. 10 for Duncan. 5-point game with under 7 to go, third quarter. Kittles trying to get around a Collins pick. 8 on the shot clock. Jefferson, tough jumper outside, and Bowen's all over the rebound.
Long rebound start. Got him. Good bank pass.
Duncan again.
The presence of mind of Tim Duncan to realize that he had no chance in the first play, forcing Byron Scott to take a timeout now as Tim Duncan coming to the floor.
The lead got up to 7 at 47-40. But it was Tim Duncan, as he did on Wednesday, showing why he's the 2-time MVP. 2 big buckets, and it's 47-44. Tim Duncan, will he get a touch here? He does with Collins on him. They double him, and Parker will take the outside jumper and knock it down. Tony Parker's first basket of the quarter. And here comes Tony Parker with a minute remaining, third quarter. Trying to get it to Tim Duncan. They finally do. And he lays it in.
Well, good job of throwing it back out to the top of the key, and instead of swinging it.
Duncan again with Mutombo on it. Jump hook by Duncan. Tough shot.
Well, as good as Mutombo is, he still can't guard Tim Duncan out of the block. And I know Byron Scott, when they take the first dribble, they want to come. Just a little late that time.
Getting down to 3:15 remaining.
Based on what the Spurs have done in the playoffs, they may have right where they want them.
Could be. They had the big comeback against Dallas in the fourth quarter. Duncan blocks the shot and takes it right away. Finally, he touches it with Duncan on it.
Got to watch him going left.
He goes left, around Duncan, in tight.
Too many pump fakes.
Duncan wants it in the paint for the hook, and he got it. He had a career-high 35 in that one that Bill's talking about. He's 4 for 5 already tonight. Rose with the outside jumper. That's way short. Duncan trying to go straight back up with it, and does.
Why you keep your arms up above your shoulder.
You have been confused with Mr. Clean, however.
But look at Tim Duncan's first half statistics in this series. Only averaging 8 points on 36% shooting.
They double him again. Off balance, he got one to go. I don't know how, but he's got 9.
Well, you know, heart. I mean, they're here, aren't they? If they're in this stage of the game, you got heart in the building.
Michael J. Fox, we appreciate it. Have fun watching the game. Brad, let's go back to you.
Tim Duncan to David Robinson inside. Perfect pass.
Pick and roll with 2 7-footers. How do you defend that?
Everybody recovering and helping out your teammate and refusing to give an open look.
But through no fault of Anthony Johnson, the net offense has fallen apart here since Jason Kidd is on the bench. The rest of these guys have got to come alive and help AJ.
Speedy Claxton gives the Spurs the lead back. Claxton in there with Duncan, Robinson, Ginobili, and Steven Jackson. Duncan's going to go straight up over Mutombo.
You're talking about one of the premier defenders of all time, and Tim Duncan just looked at him and said, face.
You know
Get
what?
back and stay down.
Actually, I guess that's 2 words. Spurs by 1.
Can Martin get it going up against the shot clock here?
And up against the glass, and Tim Duncan missed it.
That hit the rim. It hit the rim.
It hit the backboard. I don't know if it hit the rim.
They're going to say it didn't hit the rim. It went off the box, but apparently not off the iron.
I'd sure like to see that again.
Well, I'm sure you will.
Let's see right here.
That is the rim. That is the rim.
That's with a fast break point advantage. Kerry Kittles has had the best night of anybody offensively, as you can see by those percentages. That's not saying too much. Tim Duncan leads the break. The pass to Ginobili. What a dish by Duncan.
Mutombo, single coverage on Tim Duncan.
Ginobili fakes the dish and goes in and scores.
Forget about making a bucket. How about just not falling down?
Turnovers in the corner. The Spurs all kinds of trouble. Can Parker hit another? Yes, he can. Tony Parker back-to-back threes. Kittles, and he almost turned it over. 7 on the shot clock. And now they do turn it over. Rose, who had the shot on one end, the steal on the other, and Duncan finger rolls it. Well, just like that, the Spurs lead again.
Stuck in the key after picking up their dribble.
At least after back-to-back turnovers, they'll take it. There's Rose again.
But both guys got caught on Tim Duncan. And nobody beat none of the guards. The big guys are both double teaming the other big guy. One of your guards has to be back and box out and guard the other big man.
That was Duncan's 13th rebound. Now here he is offensively. Parker wide open 3. Got it! Tony Parker starting to put one of those fourth quarters together like we saw earlier in the Western Conference playoffs.
Denying all the penetration.
Kenyon Martin in traffic. Tim Duncan comes up with a strip and the steal.
Duncan behind his back with the dribble, leading the break.
He just wanted to show us a little something like that.
He shows me something every time he walks on that floor.
18 Nets turnovers. Under 3 minutes. In fact, at 2.5. Duncan through traffic. That's why he's an MVP.
You see right here, Eric Williams, always a tough task guarding this guy. Getting the hands over and then up. It's such a nice relief.
Kenyon Martin only gets to play 3/4 of the tilt because of the excessive fouling.
Kenyon Martin is fouled out of 1. There's a backdoor cut by Parker and the great feed by Duncan. I'm going to say Martin fouled out of 1 game and had 5 fouls in the other 2.
We've seen that this playoff series with Weber, Stojakovic, Nowitzki, Nash. The little guy rubbing off the big guy. And if you have a big guy that can pass, boy, that's tough to stop.
Particularly utilizing the pivot foot.
Kidd's going to try for 2 in a row. Robinson off the miss. The outlet to Parker. He's got Bowen in front. Didn't see him in time. Duncan, a little head fake. Maybe half a travel to score.
Tease him, Tim.
And Tony Parker the rebound.
Horrendous recognition by the Nets.
What a crossover by Parker. Jackson gave up a 3, and again he does the whirling dervish inside to Duncan. This time Jackson slows it down.
And Rose got him.
They finally get it to him after an extra pass, and Duncan tips it in. 3 minutes remaining in the quarter. 14-10 San Antonio. Ginobili's in there for the Spurs along with Parker, Duncan, Jackson. And it's Duncan off the glass. Tom and I watched him work on that. I bet it was 20 minutes from both sides in warm-ups tonight. 6-0 run by the Nets, and they tie it up.
Out of that timeout, Byron Scott should can that speed.
Spurs have missed their last 6. Duncan will try to alleviate that problem, and as only he can, he hits double figures to put San Antonio back in front.
When Speedy Claxton has come in the game, they have not really lost anything, as well as Tony Parker has played. Speedy Claxton has matched him in the limited opportunities that he's had.
And now he's on Jason Kidd. Kidd backing him in, trying to spin and leaves it. Now the baseline for Martin. Tips, missed, pulled down by Mutombo and blocked from behind.
Back at you.
And has the ball in hand. His team down by 4. 5 minutes left, second quarter. Game 4 of the NBA Finals. Kittles, the left hand.
Tim Duncan as a defender, inspired by Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Willis Reed out there tonight.
With 4 minutes left to go in the second, they just got to be able to get some offense going.
What an inbound. Off the inbound, off the glass. Automatic.
When was the last time you saw that play run for a center?
That block by Kenyon Martin, guys, the 13th of the game, tying a finals record. And Tim Duncan, Mr. Dependable, over Williams and off the glass again.
Yikes. You got to be strong just to get it through Aaron Williams, but to get it through and kiss it off the glass.
So 14 for Duncan. This is his first trip to the free throw line, which has been his really only struggle so far through the playoffs.
I'm surprised that more players don't use the glass. It has been proven in the world of physics that by using the glass, it improves your chances.
Spoken like a true Bruin.
The head of the physics department at Princeton, Daniel Marlowe, has done a study on this.
Here's Harris, and it's Duncan with his 14th rebound, and the Spurs almost unbelievably have a chance to lead. They were down by 15 what seems like just minutes ago.
Well, they need to keep close and stay in this when New Jersey does. If you get behind by 7 or 8, you'll start wondering what the heck's going on.
And Duncan came over to help out Bowen and blocked the shot.
Duncan is looking at the referee and saying, how can this be? I've got the ball in my hands. I'm snatching it away from everyone. What a block. And then to come right back and have it.
You see Duncan down there yelling at his teammates, get me the ball.
Mutombo on him. Kidd comes to help out. Ginobili has an open 3, and he knocked it down.
I would let Mutombo guard Duncan one-on-one right now.
Well, that's what they're doing their damage tonight. 22 offensive rebounds for the Spurs on the evening and counting.
Here's Tim Duncan. Mutombo on it.
Not a lot of movement off the ball by the Spurs.
Duncan over Mutombo. Wow. So Tim Duncan's given San Antonio the lead back by 1. We're under 4.5 minutes.
Don't just rely on Duncan. You got to have movement away from the ball to get other guys involved.
Duncan thought that he was fouled the last trip down, and he shows as much anger as he's shown. Kenyon Martin inside. Duncan stripped it. Martin's got another chance, and Duncan blocked it again. Can he get 3? Did. Nope. Not the third time.
Wow, was that reminiscent of Charles Smith against the Bulls a few years back? Underneath the bucket, up, block. Let me get it back. Up, block. Let me get it back one more time, please, somebody. Send me to the line.
Charles Smith, there was 5 self-checks in that.
And Ginobili out there with him. Here's the last 9 seconds of game 4. Kerr having trouble getting it in. Got it into Duncan. Duncan driving on Kenyon Martin and lays it in with 5.6 left.
Just too skilled, as is this young man here, the league's MVP, waltzing in for an uncontested layup.
Needing 3 points. Ginobili gets a look, gets his man in the air for the tie. No! Duncan puts it back up, but it's not enough. And the Nets have won it. And nice now Duncan steals it right back.
Oh, a 7-footer out there picking your pocket.
All-league defense virtually every season of his career, Tim Duncan.
Duncan wants it back offensively. Martin right there with him. Tony Parker moves it to Jackson. He gave up a three. He'll take the outside jumper and knock it down. Steven Jackson has not been that effective really since game 2. Martin, quick move across the lane, missed off the glass, and Duncan with a rebound.
Well, that's one of the first times in the series that he's got the ball on the left block and gone right, and he had a great look at the bucket. You keep getting looks like that, you're going to put those down.
He wants to get to that jump hook a lot.
And now he strips it from Duncan again, but it comes free to Bowen. Duncan's just going to turn and deal right there.
Well, I'm surprised he takes so much time down on the left or the right block trying to back Kenyon Martin in. If he gets to 8 feet, he can just turn around and shoot over him.
Long rebounds at the foul line often determine huge games like this.
Duncan gave up a 17-footer for a runner and then tipped it in.
Oh, just throw it out the front of the rim. Oh, Moses Malone, get your own rebound, tip it right back in.
Hope is alive for New Jersey.
Mutombo, you can see on Duncan has checked in, almost stripped the ball from him, and Tim got possession back and knocked down his 3rd field goal.
Yeah, I love when Jason Kidd shoots those shots. The rhythm jump shots in the open court. Yeah, I think he should do more of that because he's a much better shooter in the open court and rhythm than he is in the half court. Of course, right now, he's doing a little bit of everything.
He's going to try it again. This one's in and out. Collins almost tipped it in, going back up. Parker around a Duncan pick right back to him, and Duncan will take the long jumper and knocks it down.
That's the path of least resistance right there.
Turnover story even. Lucius Harris will take the jumper. Ginobili got a piece of it. Duncan right back to Ginobili on the break. Trying to tie it up and does.
Well, he is athletic. I think he's going to be a very good player in this league, Ginobili.
He's put Tony Parker back in there, along with Rose and Duncan. Ginobili. Duncan off the feed from Rose. He'll take it any way he can get it right now.
He was in historical territory for a long while there, Malik Rose. Right now, the Spurs are outworking and outthinking the Nets.
Jefferson, nice spin inside, didn't finish though, and Duncan pulls it down, and here comes the big fella on the dribble again.
Love the way he dribbles. How about the level of professionalism?
Down to 5 seconds remaining in a half. Duncan will get the last chance, it appears. On the baseline, Tim Duncan, and he knocked it down just before the horn sound.
Well, that guy's pretty good.
He's got 14 points to go with 10 rebounds, and he hit it just before the shot clock and the game clock went off, and they're making sure right now as Joe Crawford's over there having a look at the replay, and we'll take another look at it. You're going to see this shot go before the lights go off on the backboard. There's Duncan, and there it goes, and it's in. Yep, they were fouling him in the first quarter. A Hackabowen, and didn't really work very well. Kidd got Parker in the air, blocked by Duncan. 3rd block shot by Tim Duncan.
On a pace to set another NBA record, Tim Duncan, for block shots in a series. He's averaging 5 per game.
He's had 2 games with 7 each, 3 tonight. Here he is offensively against Collins. On the baseline, and he goes down as he's fouled.
What a move. Turn and face against a big guy who can't move with you. But the defense. He has to go by, first of all, the perimeter defender, then David Robinson is there, and then Tim Duncan. But when you turn and use that inside pivot, fake one way, come back the other, and get in the air for the throwdown, there's virtually no stopping that.
Tim's numbers, a double-double again, as always. And he has his first point of the 3rd quarter. Back-to-back MVPs for Tim Duncan. This season averaging over 23 points and right at 13 rebounds and 4 block shots a game. He missed the 2nd. Out of bounds to the Nets.
It's Tim Duncan's 13th consecutive double-double in this year's playoffs. And this is why.
Tim Duncan gets a double team. They move it around the perimeter, and now Jackson leaves it for Duncan.
Great defense, Steven Jackson.
Harris crossing the lane.
Even better defense by Tim Duncan.
Now Claxton bringing it for the Spurs. Bowen for 3. Duncan somehow got that rebound and puts it in.
What a rebounder. Never brings his arms down below his shoulder.
We'll keep our eye on that as we're under 3 minutes in the third quarter. Well, it's right now, Stu, as a matter of fact, as Mutombo's just gotten up, getting ready to remove the warm-up.
How about zone defense for the Nets?
Spurs now haven't had a field goal in 3 minutes. Duncan over Collins. There's one.
7 foot tall, being able to fade away, moving to your right from beyond the free throw line. Yikes.
23 for Duncan.
No, I agree, but the Nets are still flying out on him. It would be interesting to see. I'd be interested to see if Parker get involved in this game a little bit.
Duncan, we know he's involved. He's looking there and trying to get it down to Rose, and does.
What a pass. You could be in a deflated situation.
Yeah, I always go 2 for 1.
Jefferson underneath. Duncan blocked the shot, his 4th of the night.
Who's going to guard Tim Duncan? Aaron Williams faces that unenviable test. What a pass.
And Parker with a reverse layup off the glass.
That is a great look right there and a nice finish.
And Chris Rock pointed it out. He said that when Jason Kidd has to score and shoot too much, the Nets don't play well. Everybody else standing around.
Duncan on the baseline. It goes.
What an angle. Byron Scott scratching his head, saying, we need a timeout. Bad.
The angle Bill talked about, an impossible one it appeared. But it goes up, bounces around, drops through. 76-67 Spurs.
He utilizes the complete roster, and you got a great post feeder in Steve Kerr out there.
Kidd trying to double, and that leaves Kerr open, and he knocked down a 3.
Byron Scott telling us that he has been so disappointed with the team's closeout defense. He's just allowing guys to waltz their way to the hoop.
Jefferson penetrates and gives it to Collins. Block shot inside. Robinson pulls it down.
I think I'd give a half to Duncan, half to Robinson there.
I'm good with that. Tony Parker looking for a pick from Duncan. Gives it right back to him. And now Tim driving on Kenyon Martin. And got it.
We have seen literally every shot imaginable in this series from Tim Duncan. Is there anything you can't do? How do you guard a guy that skilled, that versatile, that complete?
So the Nets score 5 straight. Now back-to-back buckets. Makes it a 1-point ball game. Martin faces Duncan.
Too much standing around.
And another shot blocked inside.
And as just a second-year player, Jason Collins, who's made vast strides, will have to develop that short little 12-foot jumper to help his squad down the road.
Almost halfway through the quarter, we haven't seen a foul yet. And Tim Duncan's got his second basket off the glass. Nice-looking shot.
When he gets to the half court, then I try to set people up. But, boy, let it fly.
Spurs are approaching 3.5 minutes without a field goal. And that one doesn't go either, but Duncan will take another, and he knocks it in.
Where would the Spurs be without Tim Duncan?
Probably not in this series, that's for sure.
Jeez.
Think they might be drafting in the top 13 in a couple weeks? And you see something they haven't been able to do in the previous 5 games they're doing tonight is the perimeter shooting. 6 for 13, right around 50%. If that can keep up, they're going to be in great shape.
Well, how long is that going to last, though?
Well, it said if it could.
Jefferson, nice feed inside to Williams, but Tim Duncan has blocked his 3rd shot of the quarter. Duncan wants it down low. 21 seconds left. Nice. The feed to Jackson as he slices through the lane. Kerr, who had 6 points in the 4th quarter, 2 big shots, and an even bigger steal that helped seal Game 5. He's in there, and so is Speedy Claxton. Nice feed from Duncan to Jackson, and Jackson points as if to say, thanks, Tim.
We've seen this before, too.
Yep.
Match field goal for turnover, 1 for 1. Not a good ratio.
Kerr wanted it to get it to Duncan so badly, he waited until he fell down and got back up, and then Duncan inside, outside to Speedy Claxton, and just that quickly, Speedy's in the books.
What a players, what a series, what a finals. When they have relentlessly pounded it to the hoop. They have not done that tonight. They've got to get back to what makes them the odds-on favorite to win this championship.
Inside, outside, and Claxton knocks it down again. When Duncan draws a double team, Claxton's been wide open.
One of the beautiful things about Duncan's passing is that he gives it up early enough. He doesn't wait until he is smothered so that he can't use his feet to deliver the ball.
He's already got 4 assists tonight.
And 3 blocks as well.
Johnson a little out of control, and he missed the shot, and Duncan pulls it down.
And Aaron Williams, some pretty good power players coming out of Xavier.
Not forget that Aaron Williams' grandmother suffered a life-threatening stroke in the Detroit series in the Eastern Conference Finals. He had to miss some time.
Tim Duncan, chance for a three-point play. And speaking of quiet, that's about as much emotions you're going to see out of Tim Duncan. He knows his time is now to get his team in this ballgame. Watch the reaction. That's about as much as you're going to see out of TD. That's the first shot he's taken this quarter, and he hammered it home, and he's got a chance to cut it to a 5-point ball game.
But on the hot seat with Stuart Scott in the pregame show, Tim Duncan was saying, that's not who I am, and I can only be who I am. I can't try to be what everybody else wants me to be. Zone defense one last time for San Antonio.
They've done a good job attacking this, not staying on the perimeter, being aggressive.
Zone defense again, and
just like
Kenyon
that.
Martin got an inside block shot by Duncan. But Collins is there. Duncan with his 4th block shot.
The NBA Finals record for one game is 8. Duncan halfway there, and we still got 5 minutes to go in the second quarter.
There's his mom and dad, Ambrose and Frida. And on this Father's Day, they're looking on as proud of their son, I'm sure, as a basketball player, but as the human being he is and the things he's done in this city. Here's Duncan. Kick out to Bowen. Good three-point shooter. Got it!
I think things are changing, though. San Antonio starting to come alive.
Duncan blocks another shot.
He's just had the record in the first half.
He's got 5. Or he might have hit it, and now it's Tony Parker. The rebound. Duncan's in front. He didn't see him in time. Now he got it to him off the glass. In and out. Duncan's second chance. Spurs down 4. A chance to cut further into the Nets lead that at one point was 10.
Nice pass.
Robinson from Duncan.
They play so well together on both ends. The interchange, the high-low, they come in the defensive end. One guy swipes low and blocks a shot.
Second time they've cut the lead to a deuce. We're under a minute. Kidd missed the jumper. Ginobili the rebound. Chance for the Spurs to tie or lead. Duncan in the low block for the tie. Got it!
And that's the 11th turnover of the night for San Antonio. They're playing far too tight. Parker, Bowen, Ginobili, Rose have got to come alive.
The extra pass, Duncan to Robinson.
And Tim Duncan is working on a quadruple-double.
We approach the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. New Jersey leading by 10. Duncan trying to get it to Robinson and can't find the opening. Tim will take the outside shot and got it. Duncan's first basket of the quarter from the outside. He's got 16 points. Mutombo in there. He'll guard Duncan. Not from out there, he won't. And Duncan got another.
We are looking at a flawless performance.
By a flawless performer. Claxton gets it to Duncan, who faces Mutombo. Duncan scores inside.
Big guys aren't supposed to cross over like that.
What a master. What a talent.
20th for the MVP.
Rodgers should be able to punish Jackson.
Backing him in. Up and under, blocked by Duncan.
Of course, Duncan knew that too, so he was waiting for that.
Let's see if that stop turns into points for the Spurs. Claxton saw a seam. Ginobili, wide open three. Duncan tried to go back up with it. And here's Jason Kidd again on the run.
But what anticipation by Tim Duncan on the offensive glass.
Kidd, baseline jumper won't go. Duncan cleans it off again. Duncan's got 17 rebounds. But his team is trailing with under 8 minutes to play.
You've got to let Duncan isolate against Mutombo here. Nice.
Rose is all alone. They came over to help out, and Duncan, the assist man, finds Rose.
And Dikembe is just irate with Rodney Rogers saying, look, let me play him.
8th assist for Duncan. It's a 2-point game.
Well, that's what it's going to come down to. Can they score in the half court? Since that 9-0 spurt of fast break points, they've only had 2 more fast break points since then.
Rogers packs it back inside of Martin. Blocked by Duncan. That's his 31st block shot of this series. That's a new record.
7th of the game tonight for Duncan. You cannot just go right into his face and throw up weak stuff.
Duncan gives it up. Jackson for the first lead. Got it! Jason Kidd tries to quiet the crowd, but it's Duncan with another rebound. Spurs lead for the first time, 73-72. Duncan in traffic.
What a pass.
Robinson over Mutombo. Peter Holt looking on as San Antonio leads by 3.
The 31st block by Tim Duncan. That kind of execution will not get it done by Kenyon Martin. That led to a beautiful arcing three-pointer for the first lead of the night. David Robinson extends that with his relentless work on the offensive glass. Spurs in control, and the missed free throws haunting New Jersey.
First missed free throw tonight as Harris. There's the NBA Finals record that betters Patrick Ewing in '94. Patrick had 30 block shots, but that was in 7 games. This is game 6, and it's getting a little loud in here.
Jason Kidd, Kenyon Martin, Richard Jefferson, that's where the responsibility lies.
They've come up empty on their last 7 trips, have the Nets offensively. Now it's Duncan backing in. The kick out. Jackson's hit 2 big threes. He's hit 3!
Low scoring quarters that right now, if the Spurs win this game, it may be because of a monster offensive explosion in the 4th quarter.
I didn't think you'd ever say that in this series.
By Steven Jackson, who was cut by the New Jersey Nets.
Gary Kittle's trying to answer. Robinson pulls it down.
It's what you live for.
An 11-point lead. Johnson missed. Kevin Willis had his hands on the rebound, but Ginobili pulls it down. We're down to the final 20 seconds. San Antonio, a lot of people talked about their 99 title having an asterisk next to it. The 2003 title's about to have an exclamation point next to it. The San Antonio Spurs are your world champions.
To a team that had the best record in the league, that had the coach of the year, the repeat MVP, and now this. Congratulations to Peter and Juliana, to the entire Spurs organization, and to this great city of San Antonio for your 2003 NBA champion, San Antonio Spurs.
Mr. Holt, not a bad way to open up a new building.
Oh, what a great way. Thank you to our great fans. What a fantastic year we've had.
Congratulations. Thank you. Where's Greg Popovich, the head coach? Greg, come on up here. Typical Greg Popovich, letting the players enjoy the moment. You are one of very few men, just a dozen, to have won 2 NBA championships as a head coach. Is this one any more satisfying than the one in '99?
Each one is wonderful in its own way, and neither one of them would have happened except for one thing. We got the greatest guys in the world.
Congratulations, Pop. Time now to bring the commissioner back up for the presentation of the most valuable player.
What can I say? He led his team in points, in rebounds, in blocks, and assists for this entire series. Your two-time consecutive NBA MVP is the most valuable player of the 2003 NBA Finals. Congratulations, Tim Duncan.
Tim, not only do you go out this season with the regular season and the finals MVP, you become the first man in 10 years to have a triple-double in the NBA Finals in a single game. Was tonight any tougher than any of the other games along the way in this series?
Absolutely, it was. Those guys didn't want to go home. They didn't want to give up, but our team stuck with it. Our guys were incredible tonight. We played the whole way through. Just a lot of credit to our guys.
Same thing I asked Pop. Is this one any sweeter than 99?
It is, because it's now.
A word about your running mate, the other 7-footer, David Robinson, as he says goodbye.
Yeah, hate to see him go. We're going to try to talk him into coming back another year, but I don't know if that's going to work.
Congratulations, Tim Duncan. Does anybody want to hear from David Robinson? Where are you, David?